Castell, Mainville runner, gets out of shape. Castell now to the high side. Here comes LaFave working that bottom groove out of 4. He has closed the distance between himself and the 28 of Castell. Back to the high side will go Castell. Here's LaFave with the power. Down. All sorts of problems. Stretches. Home as Austin Swamp. You know, 06 of LaFave is your leader, coming out of 2 now. Castell looks to run him down onto the backstretch. LaFave with a high line. The bottom line, the preferred lane now of Castell. Castell rides in second, coming out of LaFave continues to lead. 2 laps remaining here for LaFave. LaFave heads into turn 1, followed by Castell. Castell now starting to fade back ever so slightly. Down to the backstretch will go the 06 of sets his sights on turns 3 and 4. Lap traffic going to be an issue here. And we've got the 12 of Whiting going to take it pit side through a little bit of mud and muck. White flag on the field now. LaFave will go to the inside at turn 1. Puts the 8-1 down 1 lap. Down to the backstretch will go the 06 of LaFave. Followed by Castell now as he looks to clear lap traffic, and he does so. Into turn 3, LaFave down to the bottom, coming out of 4. Looking to collect heat race win number 1, and he'll do exactly that. So LaFave, your heat race winner tonight, this afternoon. To the outside, the 60 of Scott Waldrop. Coming out of 4, we've got green flag on the speedway. Brian Green fires away. He's your race leader now. To the bottom he'll go. To the top side, here comes Matthew Robinson as he'll look to dial him in. Coming out of turn 2, Robinson, great run down to the backstretch as he'll go to the inside at turn number 3. Brian Green, though, he's going to hug that bottom groove coming out of 4 and lead lap number 1 here for the Mod Lights. As the distance for them will be 6 laps here this afternoon. To the bottom now, here comes Robinson out of turn number 2. Robinson, your new race leader, as he'll duck into turn 3. To the bottom side he'll go. He'll bring along the 12 of Jim Boget as he pulls up along next to the 1 of Brian Green out of 4. Boget now battling Brian Green for that number 2 position. Boget will clear him now onto the bottom. Brian Green started up front, now is faded back to 3rd, and now he's doing everything he can to do to hang on to that position as Scott Waldrop overtakes the number 3 spot. Coming out of turn 4, the 88 of Robinson continues to lead, followed by Boget, Waldrop, and Brian Green. Now Brad Reef works his way into the top 5. Out of turn number 2 now, down to the backstretch will go Robinson. About a 10-car length lead for him over the number 12 car of Jim Boget. To the bottom side will go the 88 of Robinson out of turn number 4. The 88 Robinson continues to lead halfway home here. 3 laps in, 6 laps of the distance for the Mod Lights. To the bottom side out of turn 2, it is Robinson, your race leader, followed by the 12 of Boget. 3rd place is scored as Scott Waldrop. To the top side will come the 1 of Brian Green, looking to battle back here, get his way into the top 3. 1 lap remaining on the field. The 88 of Matthew Robinson continues to lead. Took away the early race lead from Brian Green, has not looked back since. The 12 of Boget looking to reel him in here as they head into turn 3. 2 more turns of the 88 of Robinson and the 12 of Boget. Out of turn number 4, it is Matthew Robinson around to collect the checkered flag. Mod Light heat number 1 will be scored as Robinson, Boget, Waldrop, Brian Green, and the 30 of Dan Reef. So that will wrap us outside the 14 of Dean Pronovost. The second row will go along like this. In the inside, it will go the 08 of Cody Fleming. Green flag onto the field. As now LaFramboy, green flag, loops it around. And he's got a couple of spectators that drive around him down to the backstretch. They'll fire, though, as now it'll be the 08 of Fleming, your race leader, followed up here by the 11 of Brian Green. The 03 of Dan Reef. Correction on that one. The 30 is Tim Reef, the father. So the 03 is Dan Reef. So now coming out of turn 4, the 08 of Fleming continues to lead here as Dean Pronovost slows to a crawl going into turn number 4. 2 laps in for the 08 of Fleming. He continues to lead, followed up here by the number 11 of Brian Green. Brian Green fires down to the backstretch. He looks to reel in the race leader of Fleming. As now Dean Pronovost going to come to a stop in between turns 3 and 4. That'll bring out the yellow hanky. Into turn 3, looking to come out of 4 for the green flag from our starter, Austin Swamp. The 08 of Fleming. Does he likes what he sees? So does Austin. So back under green here, halfway home. 6 laps the distance for Fleming. Fleming on the bottom. Here comes Brian Green on the top side out of 2, looking for a little more bite and moisture in the racing surface. Not going to find it there as they'll fire down to the backstretch now into turn 3. Fleming low and smooth coming out of turn number 4. 2 more laps for Fleming in the 08 machine, followed by Brian Green. The 03 of Dan Reef, as now coming down to the backstretch, the 08 of Cody Fleming. Fleming will fire into turn 3. Here comes Brian Green now with a bonsai move to the bottom of the racing surface. Looks to close the distance between him and the 08 of Fleming. Not going to do so. 1 lap remaining as now Brian Green all sorts of handling issues as he comes out of turn 4. Regroups it, gets back onto the gas, smashes it coming out of turn number 2. He's starting to close the distance between him and the 08 of Fleming. About 3 car lengths, now about 1 car length as Brian Green going to go to the high side. Going to try the power move up top, coming out of 4, not going to be able to do so as the 08 of Fleming will come away with Mod Light heat race win.
Mario Claire right there in the 22C machine, ready to turn him loose off of corner number 4. Looking him over, the first of 4 for the big block modified. Green lights are on and we are underway. And Sears is going to lead him down into turn number 1 and 2 with the 21A of Peter Britton. Batman taking a chase from the 2 spot. Billy Dunn, the track champion here in 2012. He'll take the 2 spot away from Britton as they head through corner number 3 and 4 for the first time. It's Sears with the advantage.
Into corners 1 and 2 they go, and Sears on the bottom side of the speedway has the lead. Here comes Batman in a bid for the number 2 spot down the backstretch, but Billy Dunn able to hold him off as they head into turns 3 and 4. Dunn has got that outside groove working off of corner number 4. He's alongside Sears for the moment for the lead.
And he'll shift lanes down to the bottom. He'll take a look to the inside of the Mullen Industrial number 83X. Couldn't make it work through 1. He'll do it off of turn number 2. He'll pull even terms and say pass you very much. He'll be the new race leader into corner number 3 and 4. So Billy Dunn in the number 1 speed, number 49 out of Watertown, your new race leader.
And Timmy Sears following him right behind him in the number 2 spot. Then it is the 21 of Batman Peter Britton rounding out the top 3 as Brian McDonald's got that small block hooked up to the top 4 right now, and Mario Claire rounds out the top 5, but Billy Dunn starting to open up quite a lead on Sears.
As he opens it up down into corner number 1 and 2, the advantage is 1.4 seconds. Give him 8 car lengths. Now Peter Britton is going to go after the youngster out of Clay, New York, looking for position number 2. Slim rides back there in position number 4. He's in the dance. So is Mario Claire, while Rauscher, Zach Albertine, and Devin Karen round out the field. 5 qualify. Top 3 go to the redraw. So Billy Dunn looking to start in the first 6 rows here tonight.
And he's got a huge lead on Tim Sears as they work it up off of corner number 4 and down the front straightaway. Dunn with about a straightaway lead. Battle for 3rd shaping up to be a good one here as Britton slipped up off the bottom side of the speedway, makes contact with McDonald. They both go off of corner number 1, and that will bring the caution flag out with just 2 laps remaining.
Shot in the backside to let him know he didn't like what happened. And then Brian McDonald is going to be sent to the pits. Meanwhile, green lights come back on, and McDonald's going to limp into the pit area, or can he get in? I don't think he can, as we will stay yellow on the speedway.
Doesn't look like he's able to turn at that left front.
21A for Britton are going to have to try again. We'll have a restart on lap number 6. The VP Racing Fuels making PowerPoint. We are back underway.
And Billy Dunn able to fire first. He grabs the lead going down into corner number 1. The battle for 2nd rages on. Mario Claire makes contact with Tim Sears, and he gets by from the number 2 spot. Sears relegated to 3rd. Then it's Zach Albertine. Dave Rauscher is up to 5th. Not for long. Here comes Britton down to the inside for that 5th and final transfer spot. White flag in the air.
Final time around for the number 49 of Billy Dunn into turn number 1 and 2 as they work their way down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4 for the final time. As Billy Dunn sets it up, a little bit of a push that time, but not enough for Mario Claire, as Claire will finish in 2nd. 3rd will be Sears. 4th will be Albertine. Peter Britton will grab the 5th and final transfer position. So Billy Dunn picks up the win field. Matt Billings in the 74. 8 the distance, 5 to qualify, top 3 to the redraw.
Green flag is out at the VP Racing Fields making power point. We're off and running. Brett Hearn to the early race lead as Lattiser follows suit into the number 2 spot. Battle for third as Kerry Terrance gets down to the inside of Tyler Seary picking off that spot. So that's the top 3 right now for the redraw as Steve Bernard also gets by Seary coming off of corner number 4. But it's Brett Hearn, your early race leader.
Laurent Lattiser holding on to position number 2 as they work their way through corner number 1 and 2 is Kerry Terrance back there in the 3rd position. Steve Bernard rides in 4th. Now Jeremy Wilder going after the Tyler Seary number 5 star as Matt Billings in the 74 looking to charge forward. Just got around McCready. He's looking to get underneath the 10 of Courier into turn number 1.
And he is still alongside of Courier going down into turn number 1 just in front, or in behind, Jeremy Wilder and Tyler Seary, but meanwhile up in front, Brett Hearn picking him up and laying him down now. He's got a straightaway advantage on Laurel Lattiser.
T.O. Chassis Enders Power Plant working here good today for the Jet off of corner number 2. As they exit the turn, Kerry Terrance still holding on to 3rd. He's got Steve Bernard right there within striking distance from 4th. Jeremy Wilder just gave a shot to the 5-star of Tyler Seary as he fired better off the corner than Seary did, but it cost him 2 spots as both Billings in the 74 and the 10 of Courier able to get by halfway home.
And I'll tell you what, the top 4 have pulled away by a straightaway over that battle for 5th, which is shaping up to be a pretty good one. Matt Billings has got that small block running in 6th, trying to get around Tyler Seary going into turn number 3, but up in front, Steve Bernard battles with Kerry Terrance for the number 3 spot.
That's for the final transfer position, and Bernard takes it away off of corner number 2. So Kerry Terrance, best he can do right now, unless he gets back up in the redraw, he'll be starting in position number 14 for the feature as the Jet sees the 2 to go sign. So does Lattiser, and now Steve Bernard, he's wound up tight as he's working on the Lattiser 23 for the 2 spot.
As they motor down the back straightaway, Hearn is down into turns 3 and 4 already. That battle for second really heating up now as Lattiser searches for something on the top side, leaves the bottom open for Bernard as he gets by for second with 1 lap to go.
Brett Hearn off of corner number 2. He won the Mr. Dirt Track USA at the Lebanon Valley Speedway with the Big Block Modified Super Dirt Car Series 17.5 as he will bring it off the corner and he'll pick up the win for heat race number 2. Second will be Steve Bernard. Going to the draw is Laurent Lattiser. 4th will be Terrance. And 5th will be the Matt Billings 74, followed by Wilder, Courier, Seary, and McCready.
Green flag is in there and we're off and running.
Larry White going to the Billy Decker number 91 as last night he shot a rod through the block of the number 99L in the practice session. So he will go behind the wheel tonight with the number 91 machine as Dale Plank in the 77X takes the 3rd spot away from Larry Welling, but it's Rob Bellinger out in front on lap number 1.
As he works it up into turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway, Danny O'Brien, Dale Plank, they have the final redraw positions. Larry Welling trying to make something happen on the top shelf as he gets alongside of Dale Plank going down into turns 3 and 4. Track very, very slick right now. It seems like the very inside is the place to be off of corner number 4.
As the Pocket Rocket runs in position number 2, Dale Plank looking through the middle groove in turn number 1 and 2 as Larry Welling watches from position number 4. Pierre Dagenet rides in 5th. Larry White is 6th. David Papineau right there in position number 7 as Pat O'Brien has made his way now to the 7th spot with the Gypsum Logistics number 6 machine.
Down the back stretch they go. Robbie Bellinger is on a mission, a half straightaway advantage over Danny O'Brien, who rides solidly into the number 2 spot. Dale Plank is searching for something on the top side as he motors through turns 3 and 4 with the 3rd and final redraw spot. Larry Welling and Pierre Dagenet round out the top 5.
Bringing it off the corner at the halfway point, Rob Bellinger continues to lead. Off of corner number 2, the distance 15 car lengths, the advantage 1.5 seconds right now as they work their way off of corner number 4. Bellinger in control of this one as he is off and checking out from everybody else. No change in the top 3. Larry Welling still running in 4th, but now Pierre Dagenet right there to start the challenge.
And just behind him, Larry White has jumped up into the number 6 spot. He has got some work to do to get into the top 5, but with 2 laps to go, Robbie Bellinger has got a comfortable lead on Danny O'Brien. Dale Plank still rounding out the top 3.
2 to go that time by as Bellinger takes the Thompson Road Tavern number 8R into turn number 3 and 4. Bicknell Chassis underneath him, bringing it off the turn. White flag is displayed. Danny O'Brien is not going to catch him into turn number 1.
And about 4 car lengths separate the top 2 drivers. Then another gap of 4 back to Dale Plank into third. The battle for 4th and 5th is really heating up now as Dagenet has the 4 spot, Welling into 5th. Checkered flag will be out this time by, and Bellinger will grab the win.
Bellinger will win it. O'Brien 2nd. Plank is 3rd. Pierre Dagenet 4th. Larry Welling 5th. Larry White 6th, followed by Pat O'Brien, Bruno LePage, Luke Whitaker, and David Papineau.
Along with Lance Reese in New York. Once again, 5 cars will qualify. Top 3 to the small block against the big block on the front row. Green is in the air.
Hole shot into turn number 1 and 2. Jimmy Phelps in the Mohawk Northeast. Troyer Race Cars. HBR Racing number 98H takes the advantage down the back straightaway. Chris Rabby right there in position number 2, while Justin Harris rides in 3rd. Roy Tarbell back there in the 4th spot, but he's got the number 8 of Boundbrook, New Jersey's Rich Scalata going after him into turn number 1.
And he is right there on the back door, stepping up in front. Jimmy Phelps starting to motor away from the rest of the field here. About 7 car lengths separate himself and Chris Rabby as they motor through turns 3 and 4 and down the front straightaway. Rabby is 2nd, followed by Harris. That's the final redraw spot. Then it's Tarbell and Rich Scalata, your top 5.
Jimmy Phelps, a 2-time series winner here at the Mohawk International Raceway, right now flexing the proverbial muscle as he has a 1.4 second advantage as they complete lap number 2. 15 car lengths right now, and you can hear Phelps shutting it down early into turn number 1. Doesn't want to spin those Hoosier tires.
Absolutely not, and that's how slick this racetrack is right now. Jimmy Phelps, winner of the 2 of the last 3 races here at Mohawk in the Big Block Modified Super Dirt Car Series, and he said he loves this place, and he's loving it right now. Halfway sign is out, 4 in and 4 to go.
As he exits corner number 2, the advantage has grown to 2.1 seconds over Chris Rabby, while the 3 of Harris still sitting back there in position number 3. He's into the draw. Roy Tarbell in the 007 riding in 4th. Rich Scalata is in the 5th and final transfer position. He's got Timmy O'Brien right there, and here comes the 7X of the Hurricane. Oh, hang on. We've got Ryan Bartlett clipping the implement tire in turn number 4, shearing off the left front and then doing the slide through the Hazard County Car Wash as we are on last chance qualifiers. VP Fuel making PowerPoint in turn number 4. Phelps says, I'll put the foot to the floorboard, and we are underway.
And Phelps already out to a couple of car length lead on Rabby, who quickly closes it, and Steve Payne around. Payne goes around in turns 1 and 2, and that will bring the caution back out here. Wet dirt down there, and I'll tell you what, that's where everybody wants to be right now.
That's the brown, that's the bite they want. And let's see how it all plays out. Jimmy Phelps will do it once again. Off of corner number 4 is now Justin Harris takes a look. Scalata again to the inside of Tarbell. Couldn't make it work as O'Brien trying to take the 5 spot away. He'll do so. Here comes the 8 car underneath him as the Scalata machine takes over position number 5.
And down off of corner number 4, Jimmy Phelps has 2 laps left to go. Justin Harris sitting back there in that 2nd spot. Rabby rounds out the top 3, and that's the final redraw position at this time. Roy Tarbell and Rich Scalata battle it up for 4th and 5th as Michelle Chicoine's starting to go forward. He just drove around Steve Payne and Timmy O'Brien going into turn number 3.
Justin Harris took advantage of that last restart to move up to the 2 spot. White flag is out, final time around. Jimmy Phelps up off of corner number 2, and the number 98H sets it up down the back straightaway into turn number 3. They will not catch him as the checker flag will fly. As Jimmy Phelps will pick up the win for heat race number 4. Justin Harris will take 2nd. Chris Rabby will be 3rd. Roy Tarbell's in the show in 4th. So is the number 8 of Rich Scalata as he...
18 machine. Looking to go green this time by off of turn number 4. 10 laps the distance. We're off and running as the Go Nuclear late models head off into corners 1 and 2. Mike Trapp on the top side. Darren Peters down low, and Trapp with the advantage on the top side. He'll go to the lead. Caswell and Phil Potts split the difference on Darren Peters going down into turn number 3. And Caswell picks up the number 2 spot as they just about clip a tire coming down into turn number 4. But they straighten themselves out. Mike Trapp is your early race leader in this 10-lap heat event. First one on the evening for the Go Nuclear Late Model Series round number 3. And Dale Caswell, who dominated the race here in the series opener, would like to get back into victory lane here this afternoon as he rides in that second spot. Phil Potts is third, followed by Billy Isley, who has jumped up from almost dead last in the number 18. He rides in fourth. Rounding out the top five right now is Darren Peters, then it's Mark Rayner and Kyle Sopas completing your field as Shane Tenace has gone off the speedway to the pit area in the 714. Off of corner number 4, Mike Trapp still leading the way down in front. Couple of car links separate himself and Dale Caswell as Trapp has found something in the middle of the racetrack that nobody has found all afternoon long, and he is starting to pull away from Caswell as Dale rides in spot number 2. Then it's Phil Potts rounding out the top 3, and he's running about the top side of the speedway off of turn number 4. Isley likes the bottom side in that number 18. He'll settle into 4th, and your top 5 being rounded out by Darren Peters in the number 1 machine. Down the back straightaway they go as Mike Trapp continues to lead the way down into turns 3 and 4. Caswell is stuck right there on the bottom of the speedway and is looking to close the gap here as he makes his way into turns 1 and 2. Trapp in the middle of the racetrack. Caswell is stuck right to the bottom of the speedway. Phil Potts rounds out the top 3 as Isley looking to close the gap. Down the back straightaway they go. Darren Peters has Mark Rayner right there with him down the back stretch, and Rayner will jump up into the number 5 spot. 6 laps are complete as they come down into turns 1 and 2. Mike Trapp still leads the way. Caswell still hasn't been able to close the gap off of corner number 2 and down the back straightaway as Trapp has opened up that lead a little more now into turns 3 and 4, and down the front straightaway they go. Trapp, your race leader, as Caswell looking to hold on to the number 2 spot as he's got about a straightaway on Phil Potts, who looks to me like he's a little bit loose out there. He's got that car flat out sideways through the corners, and Billy Isley starting to run him down in the number 4 spot in the 18 off of turn number 4. 2 laps left to go for Mike Trapp. Both Austin and Troy are down there showing them 2 laps left to go as they head down the back straightaway. Top 2 are broken away by a straightaway over Phil Potts as Billy Isley starts to run him down in spot number 4. Then it's Rayner completing the top 5. White flag in the air for Mike Trapp as he makes his way into turns 1 and 2. Caswell right there with him now. About 4 car lengths still is a separation as they make their way down the back straightaway. Trapp, though, in control of this race down into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag will wave, and Mike Trapp will grab heat number 1 for the Go Nuclear Late Model Series. Caswell will come home into second. Battle for third shaping up to be a good one. Isley from the back of the pack all the way up into spot number 3 at the line. Potts will come home in 4th, and Mark Rayner will complete the top 5. Darren Peters in the 1. Kyle Sopas. Bandit feature action along with some modified Contis as well. Set to go green, second of 3 Go Nuclear Late Model Series heat events. We're off and running. Quickly into turns 1 and 2 for the first time. It will be Joe Hall, your race leader. Vanderlinden in the number 09 holds down second. Then it's a wholesale scramble back there for spots 4, 5, and 6. And we are under yellow. That's why everybody's all bunched up now. And on regular Saturday nights, we're going to get set to go back under green. Off of turn number 4 they go, and Austin sees it and waves the green flag. We're off and running as Hall picks up the lead once again. Vanderlinden back at a second as everybody scrambling for spots 3, 4, and 5 right now. Jordan Peters in the number 11 has that 3rd spot. Then Rick Miller dives down low. He went from 5th all the way up to challenge for 3rd going into turns 3 and 4 as Vanderlinden way upstairs, almost out of the ballpark, brings it back down, loses a spot to Rick Miller though, as up in front Joe Hall leads the way in the number 38. Then it's Rick Miller right there with him in the number 2 spot, and Miller has been fast all afternoon long, and he looked good in hot laps, and he's looking even better in the qualifying heat right now as Miller makes his way down to the inside part of the speedway. Hall is right there, though, on the bottom. Greg Bellier sees the bottom's working pretty good, too, and he's going to jump up into that 3rd spot with Vanderlinden right now in 4th as Jordan Peters looks to make his march to the front of the field as well, as he rides in 5th, and it's Art Halliday, Brandon Kidd, Tim Sears Jr., and Steve Coit in that order. Down in front they go. 3 laps are complete with Joe Hall, your race leader, but Rick Miller starting to close the gap. He is right there. He's narrowed it to a car length now as they head down the back straightaway. Miller trying to get by up underneath the 38 of Hall going into turns 3 and 4, but Joe Hall sticks it right down to the bottom, right against the tires. Of course, these drivers can get a little closer to those tires because those wheels are covered up, and Art Halliday takes a bath down here in the front stretch, and he just laid out a whole lot of water here on the front stretch, and he down to the green. As they work it up off of corner number 4, green flag is in the air. Rick Miller gets caught on a line, and this is how important the bottom side of the speedway is. Right now, Greg Bellier has taken away the number 2 spot. Miller trying to fight back on the top side, but no such luck as Bellier will come up into second. And Miller right now is having some problems getting back down to the inside part of the speedway. He does now, but he's lost about 4 car lengths to the top 2 drivers as they make their way down into turns 1 and 2. Hall is your race leader. And Jordan Peters in the number 11 trying to make something happen up on the top side, and he goes around Brandon Kidd and Matt Vanderlinden, although Vanderlinden gets right back after him in turn number 3 and grabs the 3rd spot away. Off of corner number 4 they go. Hall is the leader. He is in command of this race, about 5 car lengths of separation between him and Greg Bellier, as Jordan Peters in the number 11 has found something on the top side, and he drives around Brandon Kidd one more time. Tim Sears Jr. looking to find some room on the bottom. Kidd fights back on the inside, and this is just a battle for 5th. Off of corner number 4, Joe Hall making it look easy as he runs away from the rest of the field here, down into turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Bellier still holding down spot number 2. Then it's Rick Miller into 3rd. Matt Vanderlinden is 4th. Jordan Peters is crawl up into 5th. Here comes Sears on the top side into 3T. He gets around the outside of Peters going into turns 3 and 4. 2 laps left to go as the battle for the number 5 spot shaping up to be a pretty good one here as Tim Sears working that top side. Peters down low, and Tim Sears Jr. has found a groove on the top side as he goes around Peters to pick up 5th. Coming off of corner number 4 though, Joe Hall leads the way. White flag is in the air from Austin Swamp, and Greg Bellier still sitting back there in the number 2 spot trying to run him down, but he may just settle for that number 2 spot right now as Rick Miller holds down 3rd, and it's Matt Vanderlinden and Tim Sears Jr. Your top 5. Checkered flag will wave this time by, and Joe Hall will grab the win in the number 38 machine. 2nd will go to Bellier. 3rd will be the 98 of Rick Miller. 4th is going to be the 09 of Vanderlinden, and Tim Sears Jr. grabs the number 5 spot at the line. Then it's Jordan Peters, Brandon Kidd, and Art Holliday, along with Steve Coit aboard the number 12C machine. So the number 10 machine, that is the red number 10 out there, and then alongside of him will be the number 28 of Alan Fink, and rounding out your field will be the 10T of Dave Talbot. And that is how they will start off. And look out, the red number 10 of Elmer Stevenson around in corner off, running his 358 modified at the Brockville Speedway. Had a top 5 run in his final voyage and decided to go back and try late model racing again, and it's working out pretty good for him right now. Green flag is back out. 1 lap is complete. Adam Turner back to the early lead as Sean Beardsley works the bottom side of the speedway off of corner number 2 and quickly runs down Turner, going down into turns 3 and 4. Kingsley right there with him in spot number 3. Then Alan Fink working the top shelf, coming off corner number 4, trying to get around Art Holliday in the 13 machine. Couldn't quite get it done that time, though, as he'll settle into the number 4 spot, and Fink not about to lay down and give up. He's going to battle back on the top side, and Fink goes to 4th as Halliday really got sideways that time, allows Kaylee Weiss to get to the outside in the 77, but off of turn number 4, we got a battle for the lead shaping up to be a good one as Turner holds down the top spot. Beardsley is right there with him in the number 2 spot. Turner a little bit sideways up off the corner, and that allowed Beardsley to close the gap. He is right there going into turns 3 and 4, nose to tail, coming up off the corner. Turner has the preferred groove down on the bottom, and Beardsley looking for any little slip up from Turner going down into turns 1 and 2. Kingsley right there in spot number 3 with the 28 of Fink right there in 4th, and battle for the lead once again. Here comes Beardsley with a big move down to the inside. He'll grab the lead going down into turns 3 and 4. Turner relegated to 2nd at the halfway point. 5 in and 5 more to go. As Kingsley right there in position number 3. Fink trying to get by him on the inside, and Alan Fink digging down low, and Kingsley not about to give up that bottom side of the speedway as Fink right there with him up off the corner as they race nose to tail down the front stretch for 3rd and 4th. Kaylee Weiss all by herself rounding out the top 5 in that 77. Then it's Harry Holliday, the 10 of Elmer Stevenson, the other number 10, a 10T of Dave Talbot, and Dave McDonald complete the rest of the field. Coming up off the corner, it will be the 18 of Beardsley leading the way. Adam Turner still holding a solid 2nd right now as the top 2 have really broken away from that battle for 3rd, which is about the best battle on the racetrack right now, as Kingsley holds down the 3rd spot. Fink riding in 4th. 2 laps left to go for Beardsley, and he is about to enter into lap traffic here within the next lap or so, as Dave McDonald and the 10T of Dave Talbot are just in front of him. Down the back stretch into turns 3 and 4 they go. Beardsley opens up a straightaway advantage over Adam Turner coming off of corner number 4 and down the front straightaway. White flag is in the air for Beardsley. Second still is Turner, and he's got about another straightaway back to that battle for third, which is shaped up to be a really good battle as Kingsley has the bottom side of the speedway working. Fink trying to make something happen on the top side going through turns 1 and 2, and he drives it through the middle of the racetrack coming off of turn number 2, but it won't matter. Sean Beardsley dominates, wins qualifying heat number 3 for the Go Nuclear late models. Turner comes home to second, and then the battle for third off of course. Green flag set to come out. Joey Lannister sees it first. 8 laps the distance in the first of 3 Pro Stock Heat events. Down into turns 1 and 2 they go. Joey Lannister, your race leaders. They make their way down the back straightaway. 3 wide, going down into turns 3 and 4. Louis Jackson not afraid to go 3 deep as he heads into turns 3 and 4. He grabs the number 3 spot. Coming down the front straightaway, Joey Lannister has the advantage going down into turns 1 and 2. Picked up his 100th career win right here at Mohawk International Raceway a little over a month ago, and looking to add to that total as he makes his way down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4 with Deion Oakes about 2 car lengths behind him. Guy Vienne does a full 360 on the backstretch and keeps it going, sort of, and he's going to bring it to a stop over there in corner number 3. And that might bring the caution flag out here. Austin has it out, and we will go yellow. Nope, we are going to stay under green here, and Guy Vienne will have to get it going. Meanwhile, Joey Lannister will come up to trying to put him a lap down as they make the way off of corner number 4 and down the front straightaway. Lannister in command by about 0.3 of a second over the 48 of Oakes, who rides in the number 2 spot with Louis Jackson into third. Then it's Owen White. Dave Sagan rounds out the top 5 as he and Mark Lalone have that battle going on for the 5th spot. Mike White right there with him in the number 7 spot as Guy Vienne goes a lap down to Lannister. And now Deion Oakes looks to get by. Halfway sign is out, 4 in and 4 more to go. And Joey Lannister looking to run away and hide from everybody right now as Deion Oakes holds down that 2nd spot. Guy Vienne a lap down on the outside of him. Louis Jackson looking for room to go as well. Jackson raining about the middle of the racetrack right now, and that number 18 as he sets sail through turns 3 and 4. Louis, former track champion here, 2009. As his most recent is Joey Lannister, also a former track champion here, picked up the Bailey Motor Company Pro Stock Series once again here in 2012, becoming the first ever 2-time champion of that mini-series here on a weekly basis at Mohawk. Off of corner number 4, Lannister opens up that lead to about 7 car lengths now with 2 laps left to go. Deion Oakes holds down second. Then here comes Jackson, the Louis Action Jackson trying to work that outside groove. Car looks like it pushed up a little bit in turn number 2, but it gave him a great drive down the back straightaway as he straightens it out. And Deion Oakes right there in the number 2 spot, but Jackson working the outside groove coming up off of corner number 4. White flag is in the air for Lannister, but the battle is on for the number 2 spot as the 48 of Oakes looking to hold off the 18 of Jackson as they go through turns 1 and 2. Jackson got a great drive that time down the back straightaway and tries to pull alongside the 48 going into turns 3 and 4. Up in front, Joey Lannister will grab heat number 1 of 3 tonight for the Dirt Car Pro Stock Series. Oakes will hold off Louis Jackson for the number 2 spot. Then it will be Jackson into third. Owen White will come home in 4th. Battle for 5th goes to
of Charles David Beauchamp. Round out your field. As now green on to the speedway here as we see the 4 of Rock Oban break away to the early race lead. But now coming up is the 64. Here comes Bruno Sear. Splits the difference going down to the backstretch, and that will make Oban lose a bunch of real estate as he gets shuffles back to about 4th spot. As now Bruno Sear in the 33 machine is your leader. Denmoyer rides second, along with Jody Swamp in third, in the 08 of Richard Bertrand in 4th. Rounding out your top 5 is the 88 machine of Charles David Beauchamp. 8 laps the distance here for the Pro Stocks. 1 lap in. It is Sear, your leader, coming out of 4, followed by Denmoyer, Jody Swamp, and Bertrand in the 08. The sharp-looking Ford Mustang body style. Into turn 2 now. Sear, he's got the bottom locked up. That's where he wants to be as he fires down to the backstretch. Dan Denmoyer a big improvement here this weekend as he rides in second. He likes that bottom groove. He's going to try to get Jody Swamp or make Jody Swamp force him up off the bottom. Not going to happen as they come out of 4. Denwaye in second as Sear has broken away from the herd. But now Swamp loosens up Denwaye on the bottom. They rub a little fender coming out of turn 2 down to the backstretch. Now Swamp bonsai move to the bottom going into 3. He's got that number 2 spot. Here comes Bertrand. He's going to try to loosen up the 64 machine as well off the bottom of the speedway. Denwaye in third now, but here comes Bertrand out of turn number 1 into 2, looking to get away from Denwaye. Denwaye holds on to that number 3 spot, but your race leader, Bruno Sear, is now over into turn 4, coming out of 4. Bruno Sear, 3 laps remaining for him here in this 8-lap heat race for the Pro Stocks. Tour race here for them this afternoon. 50 laps will be the distance coming up later on. Sear onto the backstretch now, followed by Jody Swamp. He's got about a 15 car length lead. Denwaye rides in third along with Bertrand, and the 08 rides along in fourth, and Alan Peters rides in the number 5 position in the 88 machine. 2 laps remaining. Bruno Sear split the difference on lap number 1 coming out of 2, and he has not looked back since. It is Sear into turn 3, followed by Jody Swamp. They're both running that bottom groove. Can Jody Swamp make up enough distance here with 1 lap remaining? I don't think so. As Sear now will head into turn number 1, followed by Swamp, Denwaye, Bertrand, and now Peter gets all short of out of shape coming out of turn 4, almost clucks himself into the wall. Back over to the backstretch. It is Sear, your race leader, to the bottom into turn 3. Now he'll drift up to the middle of the track, puts it back to the bottom coming out of 4. He'll collect heat race win number 2 for the Dirt Car Pro Stocks, followed by Jody Swamp, Denwaye, Bertrand, and Alan Peters in the 88 machine, and Eugene Tarbell and Charles David Beauchamp.
Our track champion here from 2012, PJ Peters in the 73. Rob Yatman aboard the number 7 with 2008 champion here. Stefan Lebrun in the number 6, and already we're 3 wide going down into turns 1 and 2, and Wow with the advantage down on the inside, but Ryan Stabler trying to make something happen on the top shelf, and Wow will grab the lead going down into turns 3 and 4. As the 55 of George Renault holds down spot number 2 at this time, as Stefan Lebrun with problems in turns 3 and 4 has parked it to the almost right into the infield here in between turns 3 and 5. 1 lap complete. Jocelyn Waugh is your race leader down in front. The Drummondville track champion for 2012 works it up into turns 1 and 2 with the lead, as the 55 of Renault has Dave Rogers right there with him. No problem. There's one there. Working it up off of corner number 4 and down the front straightaway. Waugh has the lead, but here it comes George Renault. That 55 working the bottom side of the speedway as well. Dave Rogers has really taken a liking to this speedway in the number 44 machine. He rides in third. The battle for 4th heating up as Rob Yetman gets down to the inside of Ryan Stabler, and Yetman will pick off the number 4 spot, and Ryan Stabler relegated to the number 5 spot, although he switches lanes, drops back down to the bottom, trying to pick off that 4th spot going down into turns 1 and 2. Yetman on the top side, Stabler down low, and Stabler's ride looks like it's a little bit tight right now as he pushed up, allowing Yetman to get away. Meanwhile, up in front, Jocelyn Waugh trying to hold off the very fast George Renault in the number 55, who in the same breath is trying to hold off Dave Rogers for the number 3 spot. 4 laps are complete. This third and final heat event for the Dirt Car Pro Stock Series, and Rob Yetman, who won both races up at Granby and Drummondville in July 6th and 7th, looking to get a win here at Mohawk as he works the outside groove going down into turns 3 and 4, and Yetman is going the long way around, trying to get to the front of the field as everybody's stacked up on the bottom. You pretty much have to go where nobody else is, and Rob Yetman is doing that right now as he is alongside of Dave Rogers going down the back straightaway. PJ Peters way out of shape in turn 2, brings it back down on the back straightaway as he got way upstairs there in turn 2. And right now back at the front of the field, Jocelyn Waugh has the advantage. George Renault is second. And Rob Yetman trying to make something happen on the top side, drives it straight in on the outside groove going into turns 1 and 2. And Rogers slips up a bit off of turn 2. Here comes Yetman in a bit for third, and he's got it. And immediately goes after George Renault. Rob Yetman starting to come up through the field rather quickly. He's alongside of George Renault coming down the front stretch. White flag is in the air. And Rob Yetman trying to go the long way around and grab the win. Jocelyn Waugh trying to hold him off. Rob Yetman has come from the back of the field up into second, and he clears George Renault down into turn number 2. He's going to try to get alongside of Jocelyn Waugh, going into turns 3 and 4. Side by side up off the corner, and Rob Yetman from the back of the field to the front by a fender grabs the win in heat number 3 from the Dirt Car Pro Stock. Jocelyn Waugh a close second.
As now is going to... Great question, Shane. Who is announcing it? It is Lefebvre up front. He's got the green flag. Please don't make me laugh. As Castell now goes way off the racing surface over into the Raffadillies. He collects Mainville. Mainville's going to power it back coming out of 2. Your top 3 are the 3 on the racing surface. The 06, the 66, and the 37 of Daryl Mitchell. Daryl Mitchell to the inside of the 66. Corbin Miller slams that door shut on lap number 2. As now Lefebvre up front by himself, but he's got Corbin Miller taking a peek to the inside. Here comes Daryl Mitchell coming out of 2 down to the backstretch to the fire. Lefebvre up front along with Miller and Mitchell. Mainville and Castell round out your field. Top 5 finish guaranteed for each and every one of these drivers here this afternoon. The 06 Lefebvre continues to lead as our lap counter has decided to go kablooey on us here. Lap number 2 is now Miller. A little bit of a vapor trail as he goes down to the backstretch, gets into the loose stuff, and sends cars scattering behind him. It is Mitchell coming out of turn number 4 now as he sets his sights on the race leader, the 06 of Lefebvre. Miller to the inside, going to give Mitchell all he can handle. Coming into turn number 2. Mitchell to the top side. Miller on the bottom, coming out of 2, down to the backstretch. They are wheel to wheel. They'll fire into turn 3. Mitchell goes to the high side. Miller to the bottom. Lefebvre continues to lead, coming out of 4. 3 laps in. 8 laps of remaining distance now as we're on lap number 4. It is Lefebvre on the bottom. Got about a 10-car length lead over the second-place car, the 66 of Corbin Miller. Mitchell rides in second now as they fire down to the backstretch. Lefebvre is now coming out of turn number 4. We've got Corey Castell coming to a stop here. And Miller. Lefebvre's got that inside lane, pole position on the restart. Now Miller fires away. Green flag on the racing surface as now Lefebvre gets into the backside of the 66 of Miller, collects Daryl Mitchell along with 2 cars. We've got 1 car. Pretty much the whole field wiped out. Yes, sir, Tim Baltz. As now restrictor plate racing has really hurt the 4-cylinder bandits this year. As it grouped them together, coming out of turn number 4, Lefebvre, he's got about a half-track lead. As now Daryl Mitchell to go. Lefebvre, your leader. Corbin Miller to the outside. Lefebvre going to fire a little bit before turn number 4, but Austin says, you know what, I'll throw the green flag anyway. Green flag onto the field. The 06 of Lefebvre leads. Now, with some bumper love, rear bumper love, works the back bumper, the old bump and push and get him out of the way move as he heads down to the backstretch. To the outside now goes Miller, not enough on the gas on that one as the 06 able to regain that number 1 spot. It is Miller on the inside. Here comes Daryl Mitchell with a full head of steam. Can we make it 3 wide going into 1? No, sir, we can't this time, but Miller, your new race leader. It is Mitchell riding in second as he pulls up alongside Lefebvre and now gets by him down to the backstretch. Followed here by Castell. Castell worked his way up from last and now is into the number 4 position. Coming out of turn number 4, Corbin Miller, your new race leader. Halfway home here for Miller. Miller continues to lead, followed by Daryl Mitchell. The 06 Lefebvre has some handling problems here as he goes into turn number 2. A little bit of a push in that racing machine as Corbin Miller will take it over into turn 3. Goes to the bottom side of the racing surface. Out of turn number 4, Corbin Miller continues to lead. Daryl Mitchell, Lefebvre, Castell, and Mainville round out your field. 8 laps in, 4 laps of remaining distance here for Corbin Miller. Can he hang on and collect his first win of the season, and it may be his first career win? I'll have to double check that one. As now Miller into turn 3, down goes to the bottom, coming out of turn number 4. Daryl Mitchell here is in hot pursuit, looking to reel him in. He's got 3 laps remaining to do so. Miller now into turn number 2. He'll come out of turn number 2. Still has the race lead as Daryl Mitchell, the 37, has a bit of a push in his racing machine as they come down to the backstretch. Lefebvre rides in third. Riding in fourth is the 28J of Castell. Out of turn number 4 for Corbin Miller. The 66 machine continues to lead. 2 laps remaining here for the Bandits. Corbin Miller now coming out of turn number 2. He's got a few more turns of the steering wheel. He'll be looking for the white flag this time around. Daryl Mitchell now has allowed Corbin Miller to get away from him here, as Miller has really hammered it home on the bottom groove, and coming out of 4 looks very strong with a full head of steam. White flag on the field here for the four-cylinder Bandits. Mitchell rides in second, Lefebvre in third, and Corey Castell rides in the number 4 position. Rounding out your top 5 and the field, the 28 of Corey Castell. Over to turn 3 now. Corbin Miller to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to be coming out of 4. He looks for the checkered flag. There he is, the 66. Corbin Miller collects today's four-cylinder Bandit feature event.
And then capped off the regular season with a big win on September the 1st. And he'll be crawling out of that machine as good folks from Ellis Automotive will be down trackside to present the trophy. There's Andy Watts, our good track photographer here, and Rick Young, the legendary Rick Young from rickattheraces.com. So in just a moment, there's Corbin's father right there on the front straightaway. And there he is onto the car. First ever Mohawk feature win for Corbin Miller.
Qualifiers, 10 the distance, 3 to qualify. Austin, what are you doing down there? You ready to wave that green go stick? I know you are. Let's do it off of corner number 4. The VP Racing Fuels making PowerPoint. And Dave Rauscher and Jeremy Wilder dance down into turn number 1.
And Tim Courier just behind him in the number 3 spot. Devin Carone showing some muscle here early on. Devin Carone driving a sportsman car out there against these 358 and big block modifieds, running in the number 4 spot. And right now off of corner number 4, Dave Rauscher has the lead. Tim Courier showing some muscle on the top side, running in second.
Working it down into turn number 1 and 2. The big show, Dave Rauscher leads the way. Courier up to the 2 spot. Wilder shuffled back to position number 3 as Carone rides in a 4th. Now Bruno LePage takes a look to the inside. Contact through turn number 3 and 4 as LePage picks up position number 4. Tim Courier way up on the top side. He loses the 3rd spot, so Bruno LePage now in a transfer position.
And Courier looking to fight back though as he motors through turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Courier on the top side will go up into 3rd. Devin Carone looking to make his way up towards the number 3 spot as well as he works in 5th with Ryan Bartlett just behind him in 6th, but Dave Rauscher and Jeremy Wilder hold down spots 1 and 2.
Ryan Bartlett, the number 55, now moves up to position number 5, getting around Devin Carone. Top 3 transfer right now. It's Rauscher. 5-car length advantage over Jeremy Wilder. 10 back to Bruno LePage and the number 99 10 car of Tim Courier as we complete lap number 4.
Dave Rauscher, Jeremy Wilder 1 and 2. Then that battle for 3rd, which features Bruno LePage in the 99 and the 10 of Tim Courier, along with Ryan Bartlett in that 55 as they battle it up for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Courier not about to give up that top side of the speedway, and he is trying to get around LePage coming off of corner number 4. They're wheel to wheel coming off the turn.
Bringing it down off of corner number 1 and 2. Tim Courier still working the top side. Halfway home, 5 down, 5 to go. He reclaims the 3rd and final transfer position, but Bruno LePage still right there in position number 4, followed by Bartlett as they head into turn number 4.
And they're still side by side for that 3rd and final transfer spot as LePage has the number 3 spot, and Courier still working that out. Groove. He's dropped it down to the middle going through turn number 2, and Ryan Bartlett sitting back there in the 5th spot looking for room to go, but LePage with the advantage down into turn number 3.
Bringing it through corner number 3 and 4, 7 down, 3 to go this time by for the McGee Transportation. Number 48, 2 of the big show, Dave Rauscher. Jeremy Wilder still back there for position number 2. And the battle's still a good one for the 3rd and final transfer position between Courier and Bruno LePage. LePage now puts a nose in front into turn number 3.
And Courier fighting back on the top side as they motor through turns 3 and 4. Contact is made off of corner number 4. Courier trying to fight back, but LePage grabs the spot with 2 laps left to go. Courier puts the bumper to him in 1.
Working it up off the corner. Courier lost a little bit of ground that time to LePage as they worked their way down the backstretch. White flag is in the air. Final time for the big show. Dave Rauscher starts right now.
As they motor through turns 1 and 2, Rauscher creeping around down on the bottom side of the speedway. Jeremy Wilder right there with him. The battle is on for that 3rd and final transfer spot. LePage has it. Tim Courier wants it, but LePage pulls away by 2 car lengths down into turn 3.
Into turn number 4, the big show. Dave Rauscher will pick up the win. 2nd will be the Jeremy Wilder 22J. 3rd will Bruno LePage doing the fist pump as he comes across the line. Tim Kurt.
Transfer making power point off of corner number 4. Green is in the air.
And it's going to be Lightning Larry Light leading the field off of corner number 2. Pat O'Brien moves up to the 2 spot. Tim O'Brien follows his brother through to get by Michelle Chiquan to take over the 3rd position as Steve Payne right there in the 5 spot. Everybody wants to be on the low side of the speedway, and that's where they'll race into turn number 1.
And right now, Larry White has the preferred groove down on the bottom, about 3 car lengths separate himself. And that battle with the O'Briens is Pat O'Brien holding off younger brother Timmy for the moment as Steve Payne works the top side. Michelle Chiquan, tried the bottom a lap earlier, couldn't quite get it done. He drives around him on the outside in turn number 4.
Breaking him off a corner number 4, the Tyler Series number 5 machine, trying to get underneath Luke Whitaker into turn number 1. That is the battle for position number 6 and 7 as Lance Willix completes the field. Lightning Larry White leads the charge to corner number 3 and 4. Pat O'Brien right there with them as they exit the turn as we have 3 laps in the books.
7 more remain as Lightning Larry White has the lead. Pat O'Brien not able to reel him in. The battle is going to be on here in a moment for that 3rd and final transfer spot. Small block against big block as Timmy O'Brien has the 3rd and final transfer spot, but Payne has found something on the top side as he works the outside of O'Brien off of 4.
Big Fab chassis for the Hurricane, the Talmadge Tire Sword Out Recycling Ride holding on to position number 4 as they exit corner number 2, but it's all Larry White right now under the sunshine here in Mohawk, leading him into turn number 3. As he comes off the corner, we will be halfway, 5 laps down, 5 laps remaining.
And White holds down the lead. O'Brien is right there with him. No, Timmy O'Brien has closed the gap. That's a 3-car dance for the lead.
Trouble over here in turn number 4, Lance Willix going around on the top side of the corner.
And that will bring out the caution flag here with 5 block against small block as they bring the field down to the VP Racing Fields making power point, and White makes some power off of corner number 4 and down the front straightaway into turn number 1. He's got the lead, but here comes a Hurricane on the top shelf.
Steve Payne looking to feather that throttle on the top side, and he will do so. He'll be your new 2nd place car, and he'll go right to the bottom to shut the door on Pat O'Brien as Larry White continues to show the way off the turn. Your new 2nd place car, Steve Payne 3rd, Pat O'Brien 4th. Tim O'Brien now wants a shot for the 3rd place pie into turn number 1.
And they're side by side, wheel to wheel for that 3rd and final transfer spot at this time. Pat O'Brien down on the bottom, younger brother Timmy on the top side. They're wheel to wheel going down into turn number 3 as Pat O'Brien with a slight advantage over younger brother Timmy off of corner number 4.
The advantage is not going to be there at the line as Tim O'Brien by a nose into turn number 1 and 2 and takes the 3rd and final transfer position away as they exit the corner. Now Luke Whitaker right there to challenge as they head into turn number 3.
And we'll see if Pat O'Brien will elect to go to the top side as Timmy got the 3rd and final transfer spot away. 2 laps left to go. Larry White and Steve Payne have broken away from the field. The battle is on as Luke Whitaker joins the fight as well going into turn number 1.
Bringing it down off of corner number 2. Pat O'Brien, something not right with that car. He is falling backwards and now into the clutches of the 38 of Luke Whitaker as Larry White brings it off the corner. White flag is out one more time for Lightning Larry.
Half a straightaway advantage for Larry White over Steve Payne. Timmy O'Brien has solidified that 3rd spot. He's got about 2 car lengths over his older brother Pat as they make their way down the back straightaway. Luke Whitaker trying to move in and take some spots away, but he's running out of time. Checkered flag will be out this time by Shane, and Larry White will bring it down and grab Consi number 2.
Larry White wins it. 2nd is Steve Payne. 3rd is Tim O'Brien. Pat O'Brien 4th. Luke Whitaker 5th. Michelle Chiquan and Tyler Series complete the
distance for them. Also making the field today, Dan Reef, Tim Reef, Brad Reef. All kinds of Reef going on here this afternoon. Bailey McDonald starting scratch on the field. Austin Swamp with the green flag as Robinson now will break away into turn 1 as your race leader. Brian Green to the top side. Coming out of 2, Green sets his sights on the 88 machine of Matthew Robinson. Robinson to the bottom, Green to the top side, going into turn number 3. Now coming out of 4, Robinson hugs that bottom lane, and he'll lead lap number 1 here for the Mod Lights. Like I said, 12 laps the remaining distance, 12 laps the distance in their feature here this afternoon. Green rides in 2nd. Fleming in 3rd now. He's got a fight on his hands as the number 1 car goes to the top side, trying to get around Fleming in the 08. Bojet rides in the number 5 spot. Green now doing everything he can to reel in the 88 machine of Matthew Robinson. Robinson on that bottom side. He's not going to give it up, but here comes Green to the top side out of 2. Can Brian Green make it work down to the backstretch? Not this time. As Robinson goes to the bottom of the racing surface coming out of 4. He's got Brian Green sticking to that top side, but Brian Green can't quite make that fast lane works for him. Now Green going to switch lanes. We've got Bailey McDonald spun in between turns 3 and 4. That'll bring out the yellow handkerchief. AB of Bailey McDonald's going to make her pit side. Robinson and Green going to look to fire coming out of turn number 4. Robinson, your leader, he'll fire. Green flag on the field. Robinson now into turn 1. Green on the high side. Looks to keep that momentum up here, but he's going to have his hands full of that number 1 machine as he's reeled in Brian Green. Green in the 11. The number 1 car, we've got to get a name on that driver. Robinson on the bottom side. He's your race leader coming out of turn number 4. 4 laps in now for the Mod Lights. TUSA event for them. Robinson to the bottom side. Now Green to the top side. He's starting to lose some real estate as the number 1 machine has climbed his way up into the number 2 spot, but Green fights back and regains that number 2 spot. Now he sets his sights on the race leader, the 88 of Matthew Robinson. Robinson, he likes what he sees on the bottom as we've got a car spun out. That is the 2 of Matthew Shantosh into turn 4. That'll bring out back on the field. How about an attaboy for him? To the top side will go Green. Robinson out of turn 4. He'll fire. He's got Green to contend with here. As now, Green to the top side. Robinson trying to make that bottom work, but Green's found something that he likes on the top shelf. He pulls up alongside of him, wheel to wheel, down to the backstretch. They'll fire. Robinson sets sail now as he goes into turn 3. Robinson to the top side. Shantosh out of shape, backs it into the wall, and a slight kiss of the wall, and he'll take it pit side. Some handling problems for there, but no. We will stay under Green here, I do believe. I don't see the yellow flag on the field as we're still racing. As Robinson now down to the backstretch into turn 3. Green onto the top side. He'll pull up wheel to wheel with the 88 of Robinson. Robinson has liked that bottom groove all day. But Green, did he regain the lead? Or did he take over the lead? No, he did not on lap number 8. 4 laps remaining here for the Mod Lights. Robinson and Green battling it out for that number 1 position. Robinson on the bottom. Green on the top side as they enter turn number 3. Green now pulls ahead by about a nose length coming out of turn number 4. Robinson fights back on the bottom coming out of 4 and maintains the lead on lap number 9. 3 laps remaining now for the Mod Lights. To the top side, here comes Brian Green. He looks to take this feature away from the 88 machine of Robinson, but the number 1 machine will pull up alongside Green. Green, he's got to contend with the 1 machine and the 88 of Robinson. Lap traffic going to be an issue here as the 49 machine has some handling issues. Robinson hugs the bottom. 2 laps remaining for the Mod Lights. An exciting Mod Light feature here this afternoon. The 88 machine of Robinson, your race leader. Now the number 1 makes a fast move to the inside down to the backstretch. He is your new race leader. We do not have a name on that number 1 machine. I do apologize for you folks listening as white flag on the field. The number 1 car, your new race leader. Robinson, that right rear probably went away on him, but now he fires back to the bottom side and gets around lap traffic. The number 1 machine fires to the inside of turn number 3. He looks for turn number 4. He looks for that checkered flag coming out of turn number 4. The number 1 machine collects today's Mod Light 12-lap TUSA feature event, followed by Robinson, Brian Green, the 30 of Tim Reef, the 12 of Jim Boget. Double dip for them at Mohawk, if you will. Nick Sept looking to get out of the driver's seat here, collect his trophy. And I do believe we're going to be going to an intermission here. Have to wait for official word on that one. As this racing track surface has come in very nicely for the competitors here this afternoon. Fast and smooth. There he is, out of the car, the number 1, Nick Sept.
Ladies and gentlemen, wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point harness. Grandpa, take a Viagra pill. It's time to get it on. Race fans, it's showtime. Motoring down the back straightaway. Brett Hearn in the number 20 is going to lead him into turn number 3 and 3 wide with Sears Ladisseur and the 17D of O'Brien. O'Brien's going to dive to the bottom. We've got Roy Tarbell around as we complete lap number 1 with Brett Hearn in control.
As the caution flag waves.
Britton and Luke Whitaker rounding out the field. Everybody still on the lead lap. We will be restarting lap number 5. We will get the green off of corner number 4, and Brett Hearn says, "My turn to go," and he does.
Down in front they go, and off into corner 1 and 2. Look at Mario Clare go on the top side of the speedway. He's got Danny O'Brien to his inside, and Dale Plank right there in the number 4 spot. But here comes Ladisseur back after him down the backstretch. A scramble back there for about the 10th spot. Shane as Steve Bernard makes a big move from about 12th all the way up into 10th.
3 wide for position number 4, 5, and 6. Dale Plank, Jimmy Phelps, and Laurent Ladisseur into turn number 1 and 2. That settles out with Plank taking position number 4 away as Jimmy Phelps holds on to 5th. Ladisseur is 6th. Justin Harris is 7th. Billy is 8th. Rob Bellinger 9th. Kerry Terrance rounding out the top 10 as it's all still Brett Hearn in control. And here comes O'Brien going after, trying to hold off Dale Plank, but to no avail as Dale Plank takes over position number 3.
3-time feature winner here this year, Dale Plank motors by O'Brien to pick up that position. Meanwhile, Jimmy Phelps having his own little battle with Laurent Ladisseur as they make their way through turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Ladisseur and Phelps still side by side for the 5th spot as they enter corner number 1.
Billings in the number 74, who's also visited Victory Lane this year here, moving up to position number 15. So we'll keep our eye on him as he progresses through the way. Meanwhile, Brett Hearn rolls through the middle of the corner, nice and smooth with the Kruger Madsen Motorsports number 20 as he completes lap number 9.
And Mario Clare trying to find something on the top side. He almost went out of the ballpark in turn number 1. Gets it back down on the back straightaway. Dale Plank solidly into 3rd. Jimmy Phelps is starting to motor forward. It is early on, but he is charging forward after Danny O'Brien for that 4th spot as Hearn continues to lead.
Justin Harris 4 wide with Laurent Ladisseur, Billy Dunn, and Steve Bernard. And T-Bone comes out of it, picking up position number 6 as they cruise through turns number 1 and 2, and they're 3 wide behind him again. Steve Bernard, Billy Dunn, and Laurent Ladisseur was in the middle of that one. Now Kerry Terrance, they're 3 deep again as they head into turn number 3.
Great battle going on, and this is for about 7th, 8th, and 9th right now as they make their way down the front straightaway. Steve Bernard has jumped up into the 7th spot. Ladisseur trying to go back after him as he rides in 8th with Kerry Terrance in 9th. Billy Dunn rounding out the top 10 at this time. Your 2012 track champion motors down the backstretch, but Brett Hearn shows the way with Mario Clare and Dale Plank, your top 3.
Into turn number 1 and 2. Super Mario still right there for position 2 as he is falling back into the clutches of the Dale Plank number 77X as Plank within 5 car lengths from position number 3. Jimmy Phelps still showing in 4th while the Power in the 5 spot, but Steve Bernard is the guy that's on the move right now in car number 54 as he holds on to position number 6. Justin Harris 7th. Terrance is 8th, Dunn is 9th, Sears rounds out the top 10.
And he is also motoring on the top side of the speedway. Battle going on for the number 6 position, or number 5 position, I should say. Steve Bernard has really put his foot to the floor and driving around everybody on the top side while everybody's stuck to the bottom, and Bernard will now move to the top 5 here with 14 laps complete.
As now Jimmy Phelps takes over position number 3 from the Dale Plank 77. And Phelps is not finished. He's going to go after Mario Clare for position number 2. That Troyer race car, Bob Bruno power plant on the inside. He'll take the spot away as they complete lap 15. Now Hearn in traffic. He'll put a lap on the Ryan Bartlett number 55.
And quickly trying to close in on the Tim Courier number 10. Roy Tarbell just in front of him. Meanwhile, Mario Clare trying to battle back for that 2nd spot with Jimmy Phelps as he works the top side. Dale Plank with that 358 down low, riding in 4th. And then Steve Bernard comes just behind him in the number 5 spot. Danny O'Brien having all sorts of problems here as he works in the number 7 spot, being contested with Justin Harris and Kerry Terrance.
Steve Bernard started 12th on the grid. He is now up to position at number 5. A ways to go, though, before he catches 4 cars in front of him in the form of Dale Plank. As Plank takes it up into turn number 1 and 2, the advantage he has is 4 seconds between himself and the 5th place car of Steve Bernard. But that could all change because now the great equalizer, and Jimmy Phelps is using it to reel in Brett Hearn, who's putting Tim Courier down 1 to the lap counter as we click off lap 18.
As right now Hearn gets underneath Tyler, Series 5-star, and immediately goes after Jeremy Wilder. Jimmy Phelps just playing the patience game right now. He's got a good ride down on the bottom of the speedway, and with Dale Plank about 7 car lengths just behind him, Mario Claire is in 4th. Steve Bernard was running the extreme outside of the speedway. He's dropped it down to the bottom now as Larry Welling goes off of turn 2 and brings it back on. 19 laps complete, and Brett Hearn is motoring through lap traffic quickly.
He's put Jeremy Wilder down 1, now going after Rich Scalata. Scalata in car number 8 as they work their way through corner number 3 and 4. This is allowing Jimmy Phelps, as he's cleared Courier, Wilder, and Siri, to get up and race with the 7-time Mr. Dirt titleist.
Down into turn number 2 goes Hearn. He is working that outside groove. He gets by Scalata and puts him a lap down. Now chases after Roy Tarbell, who squeezes him up to the top side. Not exactly where he wants to be, but Jimmy Phelps is loving this, so even though he's got some lap traffic to deal with. Back there in the 3rd spot, Dale Plank trying to run down the top 2 drivers as Mario Claire still. And Steve Bernard has some pressure with Justin Hares in 5th.
As now Brett Hearn is lapped up to position number 26, getting around Roy Tarbell, looking to do the same to get around Welling and Bruno LePage, and Jimmy Phelps is all right there. 6 cars all together, 2 of them on the lead lap, as Jimmy Phelps looking to get around the 21 of Larry Welling to keep the pace of the Brett Hearn number 20 machine.
Down the back stretch they go, about 3 car lengths separate the top 2 drivers, although Hearn pulled up a little bit more of an advantage that time into turns 3 and 4. Jimmy Phelps rides solidly in 2nd. Dale Plank is scratched and clawed his way up into that 3rd spot. 4th is being contested right now as Mario Claire has that spot. Steve Bernard still has his hands full with Justin Hares down into turn 1.
Dale Plank is inched up to reel in the top 2 now, as he was within striking distance of the 98H of Jimmy Phelps through corner number 3 and 4. Meanwhile, Hearn goes to work on Peter Britton, looking to put him down 1 to the lap counter as he runs 23rd. Dave Rusher runs 22nd in the Jet. Very smooth through the center of the corner, just letting that teal roll through the turns. Brett Hearn, a stout piece right now as we complete lap number 25. We're 1/4 of the way home.
I'll tell you what, this track has glazed right over, and it's coming right around now to the 358 modifieds as Phelps is hung up behind a lap car, and Dale Plank's got that small block working to the top side of the speedway. He may have a run on Phelps coming down the backstretch.
Jimmy Phelps gets a little bit better run into turn number 3. He's looking to get around Bruno LePage, and the door is open on the bottom, and he will take advantage of it. But Phelps has a long ways to go to get up and race with Hearn, who is now using traffic to his advantage. A 2-second lead and 2 slower cars, about 12, maybe 10 car lengths between the 2. Meanwhile, Plank runs in 3rd. Holding on to position number 4 is Justin Hares. A great run for T-Bone here today. He started in the 10th spot, and he is now up to position number 4.
And just behind him, Mario Claire is in 5th. Billy Dunn up into the 6th spot. Steve Bernard 7th. Kerry Torrance is 8th. Danny O'Brien 9th. And Tim Sears Jr., big block modified rookie this year, completing the top 10 at lap 27.
Hares in a heavy amount of traffic with Billy Dunn, as Dunn glued to the right rear quarter panel on that car right now through corner number 3 and 4. Billy Dunn trying to use slower traffic to his advantage, but Justin Hares goes 1 groove higher to try and get around the 55 of Ryan Bartlett. Dunn on the bottom. First one around Bartlett will have position number 4, and it looks like it'll be Billy Dunn into turn number 3.
And Dunn, your 2012 track champion, has jumped up into that 5th spot as he started in the 9th position. Now here comes T-Bone back after him. They trade a little paint going down into turns 1 and 2 with those drivers battling it out. This is allowing Mario Claire to try to close in as Claire rides into number 6 spot as we complete lap 30, this time by Brett Hearn and Phelps closing in on each other for the lead.
Just to give you an idea on how much this track has changed in 24 hours, it was a 15-second lap that Tim Sears Jr. turned to set fast time. Brett Hearn's last lap was 21 seconds. That is how much this track has slicked up, even with all the rain that we had here in the last 24 hours.
Absolutely, and it's glazed over quite a bit right now. Everybody having to tiptoe either right around the very bottom or way around the top side. And right now, Brett Hearn just trying to hold Phelps at bay, and he's alongside of Hearn coming into turns 3 and 4. Phelps down on the bottom, Brett Hearn on the outside. He's in no man's land in the middle. It's Jimmy Phelps, the new leader at lap 32.
Jimmy Phelps takes over the number 1 spot, but Hearn isn't going to go away that easy off of corner number Number 2 closes back in on the number 98H as Dale Plank watches from a distance behind in third. Fourth belongs to Justin Harrison. He is a full straightaway behind the top 3, sitting in position number 4.
And right now, Billy Dunn having his own problems with Ryan Bartlett, as Bartlett right in front of him, a lap down, allowing Mario Claire to scoot on by. And here comes Kerry Terrance to the top side as well. So Billy Dunn likes the bottom side of this speedway, but right now Ryan Bartlett giving him all sorts of fits.
Well, you know, Ryan Bartlett isn't doing anything wrong.
No, he's
Because when
not.
you're showing the move over flag, you're supposed to go to the bottom.
Yep.
And that's where he has gone. Billy Dunn needs to go up one more groove to get around him.
Exactly, and that's what Kerry Terrance just did, and now Billy sees that opportunity. He might try to get by him going into turn 1 this time.
Race leader Jimmy Phelps into turn number 1 and 2. 35 in the books. Brett Hearn still there for second. Plank running in third. Justin Harris is fourth. Mario Claire is fifth. Sixth spot belongs to Kerry Terrance. Seventh is Billy Dunn. Steve Bernard is eighth. Pierre Dagenet is ninth. Matt Billings rounds out the top 10.
36 laps are complete. Tyler Seary with a problem. Looks like suspension problems on the left rear, the 5-star. And we will go under yellow here. And it's amazing we went that long up his sleeve here. Dale Plank, you can't count him out. Ready to go green at the VP Racing Fuels, making PowerPoint, and Jimmy Phelps jumps out to the lead in lap number 42.
Bringing it off of corner number 2. Brett Hearn trying to keep the pace with the Jimmy Phelps 98H as they head down into turn number 3. Dale Plank, this is the closest he's been to those two cars. Meanwhile, Kerry Terrance in the number 66X looking to make something happen on the top side, closing in on the top 3 as Justin Harris takes the spot away up off of corner number 2.
Down the back straightaway they go, and moving into the top 5 now is former track champion here, Kerry Terrance, and he is using the extreme outside. Almost got caught into the wall coming off of turn number 4. Brings it back down in front of Steve Bernard, but Terrance is on the charge. 5 wide coming off of corner number 4. And Shane, this is for about 10th through 13th.
Working it up off of corner number 2. Brett Hearn is broke. Brett Hearn is off the pace. The number 20 machine slowing on the back straightaway off of corner number 2, and Brett Hearn is limping down the back stretch. Will he make it to pit road? Yes, he will. So your second place car, Brett Hearn, an unfortunate break for him as he heads pit side as we will complete lap number 46 off of corner number 4.
And this will leave Jimmy Phelps into the lead. That'll bring Dale Plank up into second. Justin Harris into third. Kerry Terrance occupies fourth. And the 54 of Steve Bernard continuing his strong run here this afternoon, rounding out the top 5. But he's got fellow Quebec native Mario Claire just on the top side of him going down the backstretch.
Behind them, Billy Dunn, who rides in the 15th position, and a lot of cars between him and the leaders. He is trying to pick his way back up to the front of the field. Behind him, a mad scramble with Tim Sears Jr., Danny O'Brien, Tim O'Brien, Steve Payne, and Dave Rauscher as they work their way up into turn number 1 and 2.
Down the back straightaway they go into turn number 3. I've been watching Larry White, and he is charged from the tail of this field with that small block, riding the high line, and this is about as high as anybody has been all day long. He has jumped up into the top 10 now as he battles with Laura Ladisser for 9th in turn number 2.
Jimmy Phelps rolls it through corner number 3 and 4 and down to the line. He hugs the inside lane on lap number 49 as Dale Plank still running back there in position number 2 with Justin Harris running third. So right now, top 3 all have about the same advantage to one another. 1.2 seconds separating first to second, and the same separates second to third. We are halfway home right here, 50 down, 50 to go. It is Phelps followed by Plank. Harris is third. Kerry Terrance is fourth. Steve Bernard is fifth. Mario Claire sixth. Pierre Dagenet seventh. Luke Whitaker eighth. Laurent Ladissour ninth. Larry White 10th. Zach Albertine is 11th. Chris Rabby is 12th. 13th is Pat O'Brien. Billy Dunn 14th. Matt Billings 15th. Danny O'Brien 16th. Tim O'Brien 17th. Tim Sears Jr. 18th. Steve Payne 19th. And Peter Britton rounds out the top 20.
51 laps are complete. Jimmy Phelps still running away from everybody. Dale Plank has changed lines. He has moved himself to the top side of the speedway and allowing Justin Harris to close the gap. Down into turn number 4 they go, and they're side by side for that second spot. Plank shuts the door though, going into turn number 1, and will hold the number 2 spot for the time being with 52 complete.
Watch the line that Dale Plank is running. Goes to the extreme top side in 3 and 4, except this time he'll stay on the bottom. Matt Billings to the pit area as the Justin Harris number 3 riding the low line into 1 and 2, following in the tire tracks of the Plank 77X. And now Jimmy Phelps has traffic to contend with in the form of Tim Courier and Larry Welling, and he'll thread the needle between those two drivers into turn 3.
And right now Ryan Bartlett is back into the mix as well, and Bruno LePage just in front of him, so Phelps is going to have to go to the top shelf here. They're trying to get by some of these drivers. This is allowing Plank and Harris to close the gap. 54 laps completed, about 7 car lengths separate the top 2 as they go down the backstretch.
Dicing into turn number 3. Dale Plank trying to use slower cars to his advantage, but Jimmy Phelps will have none of it, as Phelps, a very strong race car here today, gets around the 55 of Ryan Bartlett. Next in line is the number 99 of Bruno LePage, as now Dale Plank can hear that Justin Harris is right there with him. He'll clear Larry Welling. He'll now get stuck behind the 10 of Tim Courier. Will the 3 of Justin Harris able to take advantage? No, he can't off of corner number 4.
And Plank shut the door on him coming off the turn, and Harris had to back out of the gas to keep from running into him. Meanwhile, Jimmy Phelps has got Bruno LePage just in front of him as he'll go to the top side coming off of corner number 2. This is going to allow Plank to close the gap back in. He's narrowed it down to almost 5 car lengths going into turn number 4 as Phelps pushes up the racetrack. Dale Plank is starting to close in.
Dale Plank with a little breathing room between himself and the number 3 of Justin Harris off of corner number 2, as Plank has opened up the advantage now of about 5 car lengths over Harris as he runs in second. Your leader, Jimmy Phelps, now has to be careful. He's in traffic again with Bruno LePage and Roy Tarbell, and Dale Plank now catching him once again. Tarbell almost goes off the top side of the speedway, brings it back down in the racing groove, and continues on.
As the top 3 motor away down the back straightaway, Kerry Torrance is up to 4th. Steve Bernard still holding down the number 5 spot. Good battle going on for 6th with Mario Claire and Pierre Dagenet. Meanwhile, Jimmy Phelps has gotten around Bruno LePage. Now he sets his sights on Tim Sears Jr.
Bringing it through turn number 1 and 2. Dale Plank again has Justin Harris right there. But once they get into clear racetrack, Plank been able to pull away. Harris catching him in traffic as Tarbell in the middle of these two. First one around him, and it's going to be Plank as Tarbell shuts the door on the number 3 at Justin Harris as they complete lap number 60.
A little pick there by Roy Tarbell as the 77 of Plank jumps to the top side to get around Bruno LePage. Jimmy Phelps now has the Hurricane. Steve Payne just in front of him. Robbie Bellinger right there with him as well in the number 8 machine as we got 61 laps up on the board. Jimmy Phelps still working his traffic pretty good out there, even though Plank is trying to close the gap going through turn number 2.
Well, he has nobody pressuring him right now. He can't hear anybody behind him, so he knows that he just needs to do what he has to do, and that right now is follow Steve Payne through corner number 3 and 4, and then he'll make his move up into turn number 1. It looks like the 98H is able to roll through the center of the turn a little bit better on this slick track than the guys that are chasing him, as he's going to pull up alongside Steve Payne as they head into turn number 3.
And he gets by the Payne 7X down into turn number 3. Payne trying to battle back down on the bottom, and Dale Plank lurking back there in that second spot, one of the masters at slick tracks, and Justin Harris having a strong run as well in the number 3 spot in the car number 3 in lap 63.
$35 laps to go. We're closing in on that marker as we have 36 remaining, 64 in the books. As now Justin Harris falling behind the Dale Plank 77X as Plank has been able to pull away, and Dale Plank maybe getting a little bit stronger as the race goes on. 35 remain. It's Phelps, followed by Plank. Justin Harris sitting in 3rd. Running in 4th is Kerry Torrance. Steve Bernard, a great run from 12th place. He rides in 5th. Pierre Dagenet sits in position number 6. Dagenet started 15th. Running in 7th is Mario Claire. Laurent Ladiseur is 8th. Luke Whitaker is 9th. Larry White is 10th. Pat O'Brien 11th. Billy Dunn 12th. Zach Albertine 13th. Danny O'Brien 14th. Chris Rabby 15th. And we've got yellow on the speedway as Bruno LePage goes around and ends up on the inside of turn number 3 and 4.
So
let's get this one in the books. We've all been here. We've been rocking and rolling and racing and partying for 24 hours. Now let's get this race in as Jimmy Phelps is going to fire first off of corner number 4.
green flag is out, and watch for Plank. He's making his move on the top side, going through turns 1 and 2. Jimmy Phelps down on the bottom, and Plank with the advantage down the back straightaway. New leader as Phelps tries to fight back in turns 3 and 4, but it's Plank leading the way off of corner number 4.
The extreme top side for Dale Plank, bringing it off the corner as Jimmy Phelps continues the lead into turn number 1 and 2 with 28 to go. Justin Harris right there in 3rd. Kerry Durance rides in 4th. And we've got one car off the pace. That's the 22 of Mario Claire, as he is off the extreme top side of the speedway down in the Raffadillies. Not sure where he's going or what he's doing. And the rain is getting ready to crank him up off of corner number 4. Green lights are on and away we go. Dale Plank again takes a look to the top side off of corner number 1 and 2 and gets a better run down the back straightaway. He grabs the number 1 position, but here comes Phelps back underneath him into corner number 3 and 4, and Plank goes down and shuts the door on Phelps as Plank is your race leader.
And down into turns 1 and 2. Plank won 3 times here in 2012, and here comes the showers again. Caution flag will wave. Wow.
Turn them loose at the VP Racing Fuels, making power point through corner number 3 and 4. Green lights are on. Great start side by side into turn number 1 and 2. And Jimmy Phelps looking to reclaim the lead, and I can guarantee you he's got his foot buried, even though those tires might be spinning on this slick track. He wanted the lead, and he got it into turn number 3.
And look at everybody behind them, about 5 wide stacked up. We're 4 wide going through turn number 4. Lightning Larry White down on the bottom. Danny O'Brien has made a charge through the field. He has worked his way up to the number 6 spot. He restarted 12th, and now he goes after Steve Bernard as he heads down the back straightaway. Danny O'Brien is on the charge. He has grabbed the number 5 spot into turn 3.
Jimmy Phelps jumping out in front, and he is pulling away from Dale Plank right now with 24 laps remaining as Jimmy Phelps takes it up in number 1 and 2. This is the hardest that he has pushed the car. The question becomes, does he have enough tire to go the distance if he's going to push it this hard, or is he going to play the weather game and think that maybe if we get some more showers they might call this one? They haven't done it thus far with the sprinkles that we've seen, but right now he is pulling away from Dale Plank.
And he's got about 5 car lengths on Dale Plank going into turns 1 and 2 and down the backstretch. Just behind him, Justin Hare's doing everything he can to hold Kerry Durance at bay for the number 3 spot as Kerry jumps to the top side, and right now scraping the outside wall as he goes around there. He is way outside, and he rides in that 4 spot. Steve Bernard able to hold on to 5th, but here comes Pat O'Brien. He started tail on this field and now rides in 6th.
He's got his brother Danny right there with him through corner number 1 and 2 as they battle 6th and 7th. Laurent Ladiseur is 8th. Larry White is 9th, and Billy Dunn completes the top 10. Battle for 3rd. Harris has it on the bottom. Kerry Durance on the top side of the speedway right there to challenge him.
As they motor down the back straightaway, Durance trying to pull alongside with that 66 machine down the back straightaway. Hare is able to hold on to the number 3 spot as Durance takes it way up to upstairs one more time. And that bottom side of the speedway is pretty good right now, but the top side seems to be coming in turn 4. They're wheel to wheel in turn number 1.
Bringing it off of corner number 2 with 20 to go as Kerry Durance going after the Justin Hare's number 3 for the 3rd spot. Pulls even with him into turn number 3 and 4. Durance, Durance scrapes the wall. That's going to cost him some speed and distance on the 3 of Justin Hare's.
And I'll tell you what, he was flirting with disaster up on the top side, but he isn't too afraid of it down in turns 1 and 2. He's going to go back after Hare's. Down the back straightaway they go. Meanwhile, Jimmy Phelps is pulled out to a pretty good margin over Dale Plank. About 2.16 seconds separate the top 2 drivers. That battle for 3rd still going on.
Mario Claire again extremely off the top side of the speedway in turn number 1 and 2. Again, looking for those Raffadillies as they work their way down the back straightaway. Claire looks like he's going to go pit side. He's finished for the afternoon as Jimmy Phelps brings it across with 17 laps to go.
Lap number 83 up on the board, and Phelps going into lap traffic right now. Dale Plank just pacing himself back there in spot number 2. Justin Harris holds down third. Kerry Torrance, despite bouncing off the wall in turns 3 and 4, he still continues to hold on to fourth. The battle for fifth goes on with Pat O'Brien and Steve Bernard as they race side by side in corners 3 and 4.
And that's a good battle going off the corner as they come down to the line with 16 to go. Steve Bernard started 12th on the grid. Pat O'Brien started 28th. And that is the battle for a top 5 finish here this afternoon. And Bernard with the advantage into turn number 3. Phelps across the line. 15 to go for Jimmy Phelps.
As Phelps right now, he's trapped behind Bruno LePage. This is allowing Plank to reel in Phelps slowly down the back straightaway as Phelps still trying to find a way around Bruno LePage. Into turns 3 and 4 they go. Phelps uses a little muscle, uses a horn on LePage to try to get by, but Bruno stuck to the bottom.
And Phelps did get a little bit of the implement tire, but I don't think it was enough to cause any damage as Dale Plank is closed right in on the Bruno LePage number 99 and the Jimmy Phelps 98H. And Phelps goes one groove over in the limbo dance to get around Bruno LePage. That one just might have saved him this race as he exits corner number 4. 13 laps remaining.
And Dale Plank now has to deal with Bruno LePage as LePage drops down to the bottom. Dale Plank on the top side, and Plank will drive around LePage down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, Phelps starting to get into more lap traffic as the 74 of Matt Billings, the 10 of Tim Currier just in front of him. He still holds a good 4 car lengths on Dale Plank as they exit corner 4.
Phelps leads, Plank second, Justin Harris third, Kerry Torrance is fourth, Steve Bernard 5th, Pat O'Brien is 6th, Billy Dunn is the 7th, Danny O'Brien is 8th, Rob Bellinger is 9th, Laurent Ladiseur rounds out the top 10. Now Phelps has the form of heavy traffic in front of him. He'll get underneath the number 10 of Tim Currier into turn number 1.
And Plank reeling him in into turns 1 and 2. 2 car lengths now separate the top 2 drivers as they motor down the back straightaway. Tim Currier separating the top 2 drivers. Hare still all by himself in that third spot. Kerry Torrance right there, position number 4. And I believe Steve Bernard and Pat O'Brien have been side by side for about the last 10 laps as they battle it up for positions 5 and 6.
And now Dale Plank closes in on Jimmy Phelps with 10 to go as Phelps trying to get around Matt Billings and Roy Tarbell as they work their way down the backstretch into turn number 3, and Plank closing in within 3 car lengths. As they exit corner number 4, we have 9 laps remaining for Jimmy Phelps.
And Phelps trying to win his 3rd Mohawk Series race of his career, 3rd of the last 4 if he can do it right now. He's got 2 cars that separate him and Dale Plank as Plank closes in on Matt Billings to try to get by. Tim Currier just behind him. Meanwhile, this is going to bring Justin Harris up into the mix as he gets by Bruno LePage as he rides in 3rd. Kerry Torrance still riding the high line in 4th.
Working it up off of corner number 4. The battle for position number 5, 6 right there with Steve Bernard's number 54 and the number 6 of Pat O'Brien as they exit corner number 2. Jimmy Phelps will roll through corner number 4. We will have 7 laps remaining.
As Phelps works it down into turns 1 and 2, Plank right there with him.
Terrence just bounced it off the wall here in turn number 4. Looking to gain some ground on the number 3 of Justin Harris. Pushed the envelope and got a paper cut.
Absolutely, and he's pushed it twice now, and I think if he does it one more time, could spell disaster for him. Meanwhile, Phelps has Zach Aubertine just in front of him, and Dale Plank reeling him in. He's on the bottom going through turns 1 and 2, but Phelps going to the top side to get by Aubertine to put him a lap down.
And he can't quite do it as Aubertine bobbled just enough. Now the number 98H of Jimmy Phelps able to do so. And Dale Plank starting to inch in. He's going to go to the top side to see what he can find. A handful remain. 5 to go for Jimmy Phelps. Dale Plank, Justin Harris running in 3rd. Kerry Torrance is 4th. Steve Bernard rounds out the top 5.
Field working down the back straightaway. Phelps and Plank 1 and 2. Justin Harris in that number 3 spot as the 66 of Torrance about a straightaway behind in 4th. Meanwhile, Dale Plank trying to run down Phelps, and they are in some deep traffic out there in turn 1.
Working it down into turn number 3 and 4 this time. Dale Plank pedaling hard, trying in that 98H of Jimmy Phelps into the corner. Justin Harris won't have any part of this battle as it's going to come down to Jimmy Phelps and the 77X of Dale Plank. Working it into corner number 1 and 2. Working it into turn number 3 and 4. Phelps rolls through the center of the turn. 2 to go. This time by for Jimmy Phelps, the driver of the Troyer Race Cars, HBR Motorsports. Mohawk Northeast machine takes it into corner number 3 and 4. He'll set it up in the turn, and Plank's closing in again on the top side. Jimmy Phelps sets it up. Plank's pulling up alongside on the top, but Phelps a little bit better on the bottom. White flag is out. Final time around. Jimmy Phelps into turn number 1 and 2. Dale Plank on the top side within 3 car lengths. Gets a run down the back straightaway, but is it going to be enough? Luke Whitaker right there in front of Phelps through corner number 3 and 4. Off the corner, Jimmy Phelps on the bottom is going to win by 3 car lengths over Dale Plank. Third will be Justin Harris. Fourth will go to the 54, Steve Bernard. Pat O'Brien crosses in 5th. Billy Dunn right there. Danny O'Brien. But this one today belongs to Jimmy Phelps in the number 98. Our track side, we are going to send it down to you.
Check 1, 2. There we go. Perfect. Third win in the last 4 tries as he gets unbuckled. The Mohawk Northeast. HBR Racing, number 98, pulls it into victory lane. And just taking a moment to collect himself. There he is, out of the car for the 3rd time in 4 tries. How about a big round of applause? The 98H of Jimmy Phelps. Well, I'll tell you what, Jimmy, we pretty well battled everything from the competitors to the rain. You still had this place figured right out, and you're coming around and really loving this place here, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I tell you, our track record's been pretty good here. You know, we got one more to go today. We're hoping, hoping today can end the same way. But, you know, it was funny. We kind of got a little lazy there in the middle, and the middle of the race, Dale kind of woke me up, and I knew he had a really good car. I needed to get a couple laps to get my rhythm going on the bottom, and I knew if we could do that, we'd be all right. You know, if traffic, if we could get through traffic. But we had a really good car. Got a little free at the end, and happy to be here.
Absolutely, and of course, you ran the bottom pretty much the entire day, even in the qualifying heats as well. Track seems like there's a little bit more bite down there, and I don't know. I was talking to Dale just off mic here. The top side seems to be not much up there right now.
No, you can roll it around a slower car. You can roll the middle, and there's nothing way up top. But if you're racing a guy pretty comparable to you, you're not going to go around him. And we'll see. We'll see what this. When the sun goes down, see what happens later. But our car wasn't great. But I'll tell you, these big blocks, you got to have a little bit of something to grab onto. That's why the bottom kind of allowed us to get on that brown with the left rear and kind of drive off. And other than that, it was pretty good.
Well, you made it into victory lane here, first win of the series, and, maybe a little momentum will push you into victory lane again here in the small block race.
Yeah, let's hope so.
All right, how about a big round of applause for your winner tonight of the Big Block Modified Super Dirt Car Series, Jimmy Phelps. And up 24 cars set to do battle. For 50 laps of action off of corner number 4, we got green. And Owen White quickly into turns 1 and 2 has the lead as Jody Swamp looking to battle back from the top side off of corner number 2 and down the back straightaway. Bruno Sears settling into that 3rd spot, and he is trying to get by Jody Swamp for 2nd going into turns 3 and 4. Jocelyn Wow holds down 4th as George Renault looks to pick his way towards the front of the field as he rides in that number 5 spot. 3 wide with Rob Yetman down on the inside, and Yetman will go from 6th to 4th. As the field makes their way down the back straightaway, Owen White, your defending Bandit track champion here at Mohawk. Rookie in the pro stocks this year, holds down the lead. Bruno Sear picked up a heat win earlier today, and he is trying to get by White for the lead, going down into turns 1 and 2. White on the top side, Bruno Sear down low, and Owen White will hold the number one spot at this time as Jody Swamp lurking back there in spot number 3, and here comes Joey Lattiser down on the inside. Current points leader here in the Dirt Car Pro Stock Series as he lurks down on the inside, picks off the number 4 spot from the 7 of Rob Yetman as they make their way down into turns 1 and 2 with Bruno Sear now taking the lead away from Owen White down the back straightaway as he grabs the lead going into turn number 3. White trying to fight back on the top side going through turns 3 and 4 as Joey Lattiser starts to make his move forward as well. He rides in 4th, and it's Rob Yetman in 5th. Jocelyn Waugh is 6th, followed by George Renault, Dion Oaks, Dan Denwyer, Louis Jackson. That is your top 10 at this time. As top 5 have broken away from Dion Oaks and Jocelyn Waugh. Look at Louis Jackson go through the middle. That 18 machine flying through the field. He's up into spot number 6 now as he has cleared the 48 of Dion Oaks and the 48R of Jocelyn Waugh going down into turn number 4. Field working into turns 1 and 2 with Bruno Siri, your race leader. The 69 of Swamp, followed by Owen White as they race side by side down the back straightaway. 92 of Joey Lattiser starting to reel in the 2nd and 3rd place drivers as Rob Yetman lurking back there in spot number 5 off of turn number 4. Bruno Sears still leads the way in that 33 machine. 6 laps are complete. 44 remain, and Owen White looking to take the top side of the speedway to the front of the field once again as the 92 of Lattiser right there with him in 4th as Yetman still closing the gap. He's got about 2 car lengths to close in on Owen White and Joey Lattiser as the 88 of Alan Peters now has gotten around the 18 of Louis Jackson to pick up 6. If you recall, Alan Peters picked up the victory here a few weeks ago in that number 88 machine, riding that bottom side of the speedway, and he's using it pretty good right now. Running in 6th is Louis Jackson, lurking on the top shelf in 7th. 8th is Dion Oaks. 9th is Ryan Stabler, the man who won 4 features, including 3 of the last 4 at Cornwall to finish the season off. And Jocelyn Waugh right there with him in the number 48R as he rounds out the top 10 as we complete lap number 8 this time. 2 more to go. And right now, Bruno Sear just pacing himself out in front of this field, but Joey Lattiser is on the charge. He has gotten around Jody Swamp to pick up spot number 2, and using about the middle of the racetrack as looking at the puddles, we've got a little more precipitation starting to fall from the sky, but we continue right on as Bruno Sear holds down the lead. Joey Lattiser trying to move up and take it away from him. Jody Swamp sitting back there in that 3rd spot as Rob Yetman clears the ON machine of Owen White, and he grabs that 4th position with 10 laps complete here. 50 laps is the distance for the Dirt Car Pro Stock Series, and Bruno Sear has the lead, but Joey Lattiser is closing quickly, coming down into turns 3 and 4. Lattiser within about a car length and a half, going through turn number 4 this time by, and Sear does have that lead, but Lattiser is closing. The 69 of Swamp holds down that 3rd spot, and we got caution on the speedway.
Looking for a little over 101, actually. Sear now and Lattiser on the restart. Lap number 11. Austin Swamp throws the green hanky. We're back under racing conditions. To the inside goes Sear. Lattiser climbs the top shelf, coming out of 2. Down to the backstretch, he'll fire. Pulls alongside the 33 machine of Bruno Sear. Sear on the bottom. Lattiser to the top side as they enter turns 3 and 4. Lattiser now looking to make that machine stick to the high side. Comes around your new race leader, the 92 of Joey Lattiser. Lattiser now back to the top shelf. Sear, but now he brings along the 7 of Rob Yetman. Yetman looking to make this a 2-horse race for the number 1 spot. He pulls up alongside the 33 of Sear on the top shelf. Sear now hugs the bottom. Lattiser, is he going to go back down lower coming out of 4? Yes, he will. He'll drift back high as he goes back into turn 1. Lap number 13, led by Joey Lattiser. Sear into the number 2 spot. Yetman rides along in 3rd. Jody Swamp in 4th. And the battle for the number 5 position is the one to watch. Alan Peters and Louis Jackson battle it out for that number 5 spot. Lattiser now coming out of 4. Sticks it to the bottom. He'll come around. Lap number 14. Lattiser continues to lead. Sear onto the bottom side now as Yetman rides along in 3rd. Looks to power by Jody Swamp down to the backstretch. He'll do so. They tiptoe their way around this very, very tricky racing surface right now. to the bottom, coming out of 4. It'll be Joey Ladisseur. Ladisseur leads on lap number 15, followed by Sear, Yetman, Swamp, and now Alan Peters rides along in that number 5th position. Ladisseur down to the backstretch. He'll go all by his lonesome in that number 1 spot. He's cleared Sear, and he's got about a 3-car length lead. Coming out of 4, Joey Ladisseur, followed by Sear, Yetman, and now making it a 2-car race for that number 3 spot is the 69 of Jody Swamp. Jody Swamp to the bottom side. Yetman, he likes that top shelf. He'll make it work there. Coming out of 2, down to the backstretch. He'll fire. Back over to turn 3 now, as Joey Ladisseur continues to lead. Sear in 2nd. Rob Yetman rides in 4th. He's got some strong company now as Joey Swamp has changed lanes. Down to the backstretch, lap number 17. It is Joey Ladisseur. He continues to lead here. 50 laps, the main event for the Pro Stocks here this afternoon. Joey Ladisseur, he knows the fast way around Mohawk, as he'll go into turn 1, followed by Sear. And now Alan Peters, he's hopped himself up into the mix for that number 3 spot. Sear on the bottom, Peters on the bottom, Yetman to the top side. Jody Swamp rides in 5th. He got shuffled back from 3rd to 5th in the matter of about 2.5 laps. Joey Ladisseur now out of turn number 4, lap number 19. Joey Ladisseur continues to lead to the top side. He'll go. Coming out of 2, Joey Ladisseur up front, as he's starting to put some distance between himself and the number 33 of Bruno Sear. Sear had a great run this afternoon in the first heat race and made no contest of that one as he led all 8 laps. Lap number 20, Ladisseur continues to lead.
And right now, Ladisseur opens up about 5 car lengths on Bruno Sear, holds down spot number 2. Alan Peters has come up to the field rather nicely. He rides in that 3rd spot as Rob Yetman continues to run in spot number 4. Then it is the 69 of Jody Swamp, followed by Ryan Stabler. And Owen White is a battle for spots 6 and 7. Louis Jackson up into the 8th spot. Dion Oaks is 9th, and Mark Lalonde continues to complete the top 10. As we got 21 laps up on the scoreboard, Joey Ladisseur picking him up and laying him down now as he gets to the back bumper of Charles David Beauchamp in the number 88 machine. As the field makes their way off of corner number 4 and down the front straightaway, Ladisseur in full control of this event, looking for his 5th win of the season here at Mohawk, and his first series win of the year as well. As they make their way down the front straightaway, the 92 of Ladisseur continues to lead the way down in front, as Sear now has Alan Peters right on his back bumpers. They go through turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. The 92 of Ladisseur picking off lap cars once again. He's gone by Jocelyn Chicoine in the 17. Then just in front of him will be Jocelyn Waugh, and Jocelyn Waugh is the reigning track champion at Autodrome Drummond in 2012. As Ladisseur lurking after Waugh down the back straightaway, the 33 of Sear still holds down second. He's being followed closely by Alan Peters as Jody Swamp, Rob Yetman still go at it for 4th and 5th down in front. Halfway sign is out. 25 laps complete, 25 more to go, and Joey Ladisseur still leading the way, as Bruno Sear content to ride right around the bottom side of the speedway, and Alan Peters trying to find a way around as they make their way down the back straightaway. The 69 of Swamp holds down spot number 4. Then it is Rob Yetman completing the top 5. Ryan Stabler is 6th. Owen White is 7th. Louis Jackson is up into 8th. 9th is Dion Oaks. EVN is now cracked into the top 10 in the 15. Mark Lalonde is 11th. Stefan Lebrun is up to 12th. BJ Peters 13th. Dan Denway is 14th. Eugene Tarbell 15th. 16th to Dave Seguin. 17th to Mike White. Jocelyn Waugh is 18th. 19th, Jocelyn Chicoine. And rounding out your top 20 is Rock Oban aboard the number 4. As the field makes their way down the front straightaway, Joey Ladisseur is running away and hiding from everybody. He's got about a full straightaway advantage back to that battle for second, which is a good one. And Alan Peters literally trying to move the 33 of Bruno Cyr off the bottom of the speedway, but Bruno Cyr is glued to the inside part of the racetrack, and Jody Swamp trying to pick his way through the lap traffic as he splits the difference between Jocelyn Waugh and Charles David Beauchamp. Now he goes after the third place running Alan Peters down the front straightaway. Meanwhile, Rob Yetman is caught in heavy lap traffic. Just in front of him is Rock Oban, Ryan Stabler, and Jocelyn Chicoine as they make their way down the back straightaway. Still, that battle for second rages on. Meanwhile, Joey Ladisser is waiting for nobody. He charges down the front straightaway with a huge lead on the rest of the field. Lap 29 is up on the scoreboard. And Ladisser looking to take home his second series win of the season if he can get it done. As he makes his way down the back straightaway, he's following close behind the 7D of Eugene Tarbell, and just in front of him is Dan Denway in the 64. Dan running in the 14th spot. PJ Peters, final car on the lead lap at this time. 30 laps are complete, and Joey Ladisser is the man of the hour.
Joey Ladisser hauling the groceries on this one. Later stages of this race, lap number 30 in the books, almost in the books rather. And Joey Ladisser has picked up the pace by about 2 miles per hour. He's about half a second faster than he was when we first started this event this afternoon. Now he looks to make the 64 of Dan Denway go a lap down. Lap number 31. Ladisser up front, followed by Cyr, Alan Peters, Joey Swamp, and now Ryan Stabler has cracked into the top 5. Yetman rides in 6th, Owen White in 7th. Guy Venz rides in 9th. Joey Ladisser, any lane, top or bottom, he is fast. Out of turn 4, Joey Ladisser, 31 laps in the book. Lap number 32, Joey Ladisser continues to lead. Ladisser to the top shelf as he goes into turn 2, fires down to the backstretch as puts Dan Denway 1 lap down. Running in second, it is Jody Swamp now. Jody Swamp has made some moves and shuffled his way up into that number 2 spot. Does he have enough time to catch Joey Ladisser? Joey Ladisser has about a half of track lead on the 69 machine of Jody Swamp. Bruno Cyr now battles back for that number 2 spot. Cyr on the bottom. To the top side will go Jody Swamp. Eases off the throttle as he comes out of 2, and Bruno Cyr sticks and remains on to the bottom. As now they pull alongside each other, coming out of turn 4. Cyr, he's got that bottom groove locked up the way he likes it. Jody Swamp going to the top shelf, trying to get by Cyr desperately for that number 2 spot on lap number 34. Joey Ladisser, he's up all by himself and lonely up there. Half a track lead now for the Joey Ladisser 92 machine. Back to the bottom now. Mike White is going to be the factor here. Can Jody Swamp use lap traffic to his advantage? 3 wide going into turn number 2. Now, Mike White on the bottom. Will that open the door for the 69 machine of Jody Swamp? It's going to be 3 wide going into turn number 3. To the top side goes Swamp. To the bottom goes Cyr. Mike White, the meat in that sandwich coming out of turn number 4. Lap 36 will be scored for Joey Ladisser. Cyr on the bottom now. Jody Swamp putting on one heck of a race here for that number 2 spot. Down to the back stretch of the fire. Cyr remains on the bottom. Jody Swamp looking for a little extra on that top shelf. A little momentum coming out of 4 would help to get that number 2 spot away from Cyr. Cyr's not going to leave the bottom of this racetrack whatsoever. He says, Jody, if you're going to beat me, you're going to have to beat me up high. Jody Swamp now equal to the challenge as they come out of turn 2. He pulls up alongside the 33 machine of Cyr. Cyr will go back to the bottom as well as Jody Swamp back to the top shelf. The 7D of Eugene Tarbell, the next lap car for these 2 second and third place cars to contend with. Alan Peters up into the mix on lap number 38. It's a 3-horse race for the number 2 spot. Who has the most horses coming out of 2 and down to the backstretch? It'll be Bruno Cyr. Cyr into the number 2 spot. To the top shelf will be Jody Swamp. On the bottom, the 88 of Alan Peters rides along in that 4th spot, looking for one of these 2 competitors to make a mistake. Lap number 40 will be lap 39 will be Joey Ladisser. Joey Ladisser got to be enjoying the battle for the number 2 spot, as that has allowed him to break away from the herd and still continue to lead on lap number 40.
And right now he's at almost a straightaway and a half on Bruno Cyr, and everybody is searching for something down around the bottom. As the field makes her way down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4, Joey Lattiser picking his way through the traffic around the outside of our track champion, PJ Peters, in the 73. As Lattiser works the top side of the speedway in turns 1 and 2 and down the back stretch. The 33 of Sear continues to hold down spot number 2. The 69 of Swamp right there, position number 3. The 88 of Peters is 4th. As Ryan Stabler has come up through the field once again. He rides in spot number 5 this time. As they make their way down into turns 3 and 4. The 92 of Lattiser putting a licking on the field here with 42 laps in the record books. As he makes his way down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4, he has gotten around the 73 of PJ Peters to put him a lap down. Although Peters is trying to fight back right there on the bottom side of the speedway, and Lattiser pulls away down the front stretch. 43 laps are complete. Go Nuclear Late Model Series will be coming up immediately following this event. 30 laps in distance for the Go Nuclear Late Models coming up very, very shortly. And then after that, the grandstands will be cleared, and then everybody can re-enter the facility. So still got a long ways to go before that, but Joey Lattiser running away from everybody as he is just stunk up the show here in that 92 machine as he rides down the back straightaway, and he has got a very comfortable advantage on the 33 of Sear, rides in second. Alan Peters rounds out the top 3. Wow. Field working it up off of corner number 4. The lead is all but solidified right now, and Lattiser just trying to make laps and bring it on home for another win. Meanwhile, Alan Peters to the top side trying to get around the 64 of Dan Denwaye, as Denwaye is a lap car, and the 33 of Sear is being held up by him, and Peters trying to go to the top side to get around everybody here. Off of turn number 4 they go. Bruno Sear has the advantage by about a half car length. 4 laps left to go in this one, and Alan Peters pushes up the racetrack. This is going to bring Ryan Stabler into the mix. The race from second on back to 6 is a good one. Meanwhile, Lattiser works it up off of turn number 4 with almost a half a track lead on the rest of the field. 3 laps remaining. And here comes Alan Peters to the top side of the speedway in the 88. He is trying to get by the 33 of Sear down in front. Couldn't get the job done. Here comes Ryan Stabler into the mix as well. They make contact going into turns 1 and 2. Sear holds down second. The 33 trying to get by the 64 of Denway. Is 2 laps left to go for Joey Lattiser. As Stabler right up in there in the points coming into today, 5th in the standings just behind Jocelyn Waugh. And right now he's trying to add to that as he has gotten around Alan Peters for 3rd. Immediately goes after Bruno Sear for 2nd. Off of corner number 4, a half-track advantage for Joey Lattiser. Off of turn 4, he sees the white flag as works it up into turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. He won a series race earlier this year at Cornwall and wants to put away his 2nd series win of the season if he can get the job done. Final time into turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag will wave, and Joey Lattiser, for the 5th time here at Mohawk and 2nd on the series, he has done it in dominant fashion. He grabs the win. 2nd still up for grabs right now as Ryan Stabler has cleared Bruno Sear down in front, and Stabler will grab the number 2 position at the stripe. Battle for 3rd, it will go to Jody Swamp. Bruno Sear and Alan Peters complete the top 5. What a run out there, and I tell you what, Joey Lattiser made it look so easy. Just ran through the field and dominated the last half of the downstairs to Brian Mulligan as we await for Joey Lattiser to get up out of that race car and claimed his 8th feature win of the season. 5th here, and climbing up out of that race car. Here he comes out of the car. 2nd series win of the season and 5th of the year for Joey Lattiser. And Brian Mulligan's going to have a chat with our winner.
Well, you know, Tim, for all the years I've known Joey, this is the first time I'm going to interview him. Well, he's closing out can you give me some sound? He's closing out a pretty successful career in pro stock. The rumor is he's got other plans for next year. But Joey, right now, I think your plans are to finish out this series.
Yeah, it's a shame we're not getting points for tonight. I know they had to do what they had to do, but once we got here, everyone's in the pits. It's too bad it don't count for championship points. This is what championship's all about is going to win it. And maybe they'll review it and they'll do something about that. But we're still leading the points. We're going to go to Syracuse, give it all we got, and hopefully have a good run at Brockville.
Well, Joey, it'll be a big step for you. You've become a pretty valuable guy to a lot of the other guys in this class. So I think you contributed a great deal while you've been here, and you'll be a great addition to the next class.
Yeah, like my heart will always be in pro stock. I've loved the class, but I think it's time to move on. We've had quite a few guys that have getting better, but a lot of them move on, and it's just make new friendships, try different tracks, try different division, new challenge.
Once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Back up to you, Tim.
And right now, fourth, and he'll be looking to go to the front of the field in a hurry, Brian. 30 laps the distance, Joe Hall on the point.
Joe Hall fires away. We got green racing conditions. To the top side, here comes Adam Turner. Out of turn number 2. Turner fires away, but down to the backstretch will go the 38 machine of Hall. Quickly, the man on the move is the number 28 machine. Well, excuse me, 68 machine. We got cars bunched up here. Parking lot, spin out, Fink turns it around on the front stretch. Can everybody clear him in time as the yellow flag will come out? And I'll tell you what, Tim, at number 3 spot, and he's got Dale Caswell in that number 4 position. Hall fires come on out of turn number 4, along with Turner, Bellier, and Caswell. Going into turn 1 now, it is Hall, but here comes Adam Turner to the top side out of 2. Adam Turner, your new race leader. He looked fantastic in his heat race, but here comes Bill Isley in the blue 18 car. Rides now. Sean Beardsley, correction. It is Beardsley in that blue rocket chassis machine. The man up front is Adam Turner. Adam Turner out of 2. Joe Hall, Greg Bellier. Beardsley and Caswell round out your top 5. Adam Turner, he's up all alone out front. Long-time 358 modified campaigner at the Brockville, Ontario Speedway, as well as the Cornwall Motor Speedway. But now, here comes Beardsley. He makes a power move to the inside, down to the backstretch. Turner up front. Beardsley rides in second, followed by Bellier, 38 of Joe Hall, and 19 of Dale Caswell. The 3T of Tim Sears makes his way into the top 6, looking to crack that top 5. But down to the backstretch, here comes Sean Beardsley. Beardsley to the inside of the 92 machine of Adam Turner. To the bottom will go Beardsley. Now Turner's going to follow pursuit and change lanes on lap number 4. It is Beardsley on the inside. Turner to the top side. Down to the backstretch, they'll fire. Sean Beardsley is a rocket ship on rails right now. He found the perfect setup for this track this afternoon to match with his chassis. Look at him go, coming out of turn number 4, 5 laps in. Beardsley continues to lead.
And right now, Beardsley working it up off of turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Adam Turner trying to run him down. Adam started in this crate late model division a little late in the season at the Brighton Speedway and has some successful runs. Meanwhile, Greg Bellier holds down that number 3 spot, and apparently he picked the right tire setup today as he rides in that 3rd position. 3 wide coming down the front straightaway. Dale Caswell moves up into spot number 4, getting by Joe Hall in the number 38. Here comes Tim Sears Jr. up to play as well. He rides in that 6th spot. Isley up into position number 7, along with the 70 of Trapp. He rides in 8th. 9th is Phil Potts in top 10, being rounded out right now by the 1P of Darren Peters down in front. Meanwhile, up at the front of the field, the 18 of Beardsley running like a bear and working through traffic here off of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Coming up on the back bumper of the Harry Halliday number 13 as Steve Coit, Dave McDonald, and the 10T of Dave Talbot just in front of them. Down the back straightaway they go. 30 laps is the scheduled distance, and right now Sean Beardsley trying to end it quickly. Adam Turner trying to run him down in spot number 2. Greg Bellier still holds down 3rd. Timmy Sears Jr. has found something on the top side of the speedway as he motors around the 19 of Dale Caswell to try to pick up spot number 4, and Caswell back after him down the front straightaway as we complete lap number 9, this time by the 18 of Beardsley in heavy lap traffic. He gets by the 97 of Dave McDonald. working on Dave Talbot as he comes up off the corner at lap number 10.
Beardsley is like a kid in a candy store right now. He is having a field day, slicing, dicing his way through lap traffic. Down to the backstretch he'll go. He looks to put the 14 machine of Brandon Kidd down one lap, and he'll do just that as they go into turn number 3. Beardsley onto the bottom, coming out of turn number 4. Sets his sights on the 87 machine of Art Halliday, looks to put him down a lap. 12 laps in, 18 more to go for the Go Nuclear Late Model Series. It is Beardsley running up front now, followed by the 92 machine. The 92 machine of... There's now Beardsley back up front, your race leader. The 97 of Dave McDonald was the number I was looking for. Out of turn number 2 now. It is Beardsley. He continues to lead, fires his way down to the backstretch as he'll put his machine in the turns 3 and 4. Lap number 14. It is Sean Beardsley. He continues to lead. Coming out of turn number 4 right now. It is Sean Beardsley. He'll go into more lap traffic here as he's really worked his way up through this field. We've got the 77 machine through the Hazard County Car Wash. To quote Shane Andrews, Kaylee Weiss, spin.
And Adam Turner into number 92, ready to go back under green. We got 15 laps complete. 15 more to go. They stack them up through turns 3 and 4. Beardsley brings them down at a slow pace. We're back under green. And Beardsley gets away from Adam Turner, and Joe Hall goes for a ride through the infield. And he will bring it to a halt. And right now he is stopped in there. And Isley with a problem in the 18. He was running in the 6th spot. Now finds himself off the speedway, and a tough break for Billy. Running very strong in that Performance Automotive number 18 machine. And he will head pit side. So tough break for Isley. But right now, Sean Beardsley not having any tough breaks. He has got that lead, and he's extending it right now as he motors down the front straightaway. The 25 of Bellier holds down second. Then the battle for third shaping up. Tim Sears Jr. on the top side, Adam Turner down low, and Dale Caswell trying to fight off everybody in the number 5 spot with Phil Potts into 6th. 7th is the 1P of Darren Peters, and 8th is Mike Trapp. 9th is Kingsley. Rounding out the top 10 is Jordan Peters in the number 11, but Beardsley your leader. 18 laps complete. 12 more remain here in round number 3 of the Go Late Model Series, and Sean Beardsley putting a hurting on the field. Down the back straightaway they go. About a half straightaway separates the top 2 drivers as they make their way into turns 3 and 4. Bellier on the top side. Bellier finished second here in the opening series race. Wants to add a victory to his resume here at Mohawk, but right now he's got a long way to catch Sean Beardsley as we got 19 laps up on the scoreboard. 10 more will remain. This time by it's Sean Beardsley, Greg Bellier, Tim Sears Jr., Adam Turner, Dale Caswell, your top 5. With 10 to go, Beardsley leads the way.
10 to go, and it is Beardsley leading the way. Yes, you are correct, Tim. Followed by Bellier, Turner, and now Timmy Sears hops up and looking to vie for that number 3 spot. Tears to the top shelf coming out of 2. He's got Turner on the bottom, down the backstretch, they'll fire. They'll go in the turns 3 and 4. Turner maintains that number 3 spot, slips up ever so slightly. Here comes Tim Sears in the 3T. Sears to the top side, going into turn number 1. Down to the bottom is Turner. Sears now got to get on the binders ever so slightly, not to get himself off this racing surface. Sears, he's found the quick way around the 92 machine. Bellier still rides in the number 2 spot. Beardsley all alone up front, working his way through lap traffic now, looking to put the number 14 machine of Brandon Kidd down another lap, I should say. As now, between Beardsley and Bellier, there are 2 lap cars. 22 laps now in the books for these Go Nuclear Late Model Series. Bellier rides in second. Now, Tim Sears in third, the 92 of Turner in 4th, and Dale Caswell rides along in 5th. Beardsley all alone up front. Like I mentioned, we've got one around. The 87 machine spins himself around, and the 87 now into the top 5. First time today. Coming out of turn 4, Beardsley. He's looking for that green flag to get back to racing. Yes, sir. Green racing flag. Racing conditions on the speedway. Beardsley to the bottom now, but here comes Bellier. Looking to dance with the devil on the top shelf down to the backstretch. He'll fire. Beardsley looking to get back up that commanding lead that he did have on lap number 1 through 23. Lap 25 will be scored as Beardsley.
And right now, Beardsley holds down the lead. And Bellier right there with him in second, knocking on the door. Here comes Tim Sears Jr., the man who won twice in this series last year, both at the Fulton Speedway. Lurking back there in that third spot as the one of Darren Peters holds down spot number 4. Adam Turner's had a solid day up into the 5th spot. He's not done there, though. He's trying to get back by the number 11, or the 1 of Peters from the number 4 spot. Going down into turns 1 and 2. Dale Caswell just behind him in 6, followed by A.J. Kingsley, Phil Potts, Jordan Peters, rather, in the number 11. And rounding out the top 10 is the 09 of Matt Vanderlinden. 27 laps are complete, 3 more to go. So coming off of corner number 4, 2 laps left to go for A.J. Kingsley, trying to put home his first series win of his career and first of the season. Meanwhile, Greg Bellier trying to run him down. Looking like it could be back-to-back runner-up finishes here at Mohawk for Bellier. Down into turns 3 and 4 they go. White flag being displayed this time by for Sean Beardsley. Sean spent most of his time running in the big block modified divisions at Brewerton and Fulton. Signed it a couple of years ago to take a step back into the late model division, and it has paid off big time for him. Down into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag will wave this time by, and Sean Beardsley has just picked up his first career Go Nuclear Late Model Series win and becomes the 3rd different winner in 3 races, joining Chuck Meyer and Dale Caswell. Greg Bellier to 2nd. Tim Sears Jr. comes home in another 3rd place finish. Adam Turner and Darren Peters complete the top 5. Happy Sean Beardsley.
He's out of the number 18, Sean Beardsley. Have a few words over here with Sean. Sean, congratulations, my man. Well, you came up through the field and you were just slicing and dicing your way up front.
Yeah, I mean, the car is absolutely flawless. I couldn't ask for a better ride. I love my Rocket chassis, and I got to thank my crew, all my sponsors, Amsoil, Hall's Landscaping, Fastenal, Raymond's Car Care. He does some dyno work for me so we can get her tuned in there good, and you know, I got to thank everybody.
Well, you got another feature coming up. You think you can go 2 for 2 here?
That's my plan.
That a boy. The number 18, Sean Beardsley.